Youngkin, too, is the same way.
Literally everyone, regardless of how they identify politically. So no one really is going to answer that question directly. I think he's clearly running. I just don't know when he's running.
Right. We don't know if it's yet. But the problem is his state has been run into the ground. You wrote a book about crime, Jason Rantz. Your book is now out. It really talks about what's killing America and its terrible policies that put the criminal first. First and foremost, it's San Francisco, where he was mayor. Yep. It's Los Angeles. They're the capital of homelessness. They've been overrun by illegal immigrants. Their tax base, whatever it is going to people who don't belong here. They don't have any interest in keeping a border wall up.
Yeah, and education is in shambles. And all of those topics are actually in the book. But here's the problem. Here's why I wrote What's Killing America. Do you get that sense when you're looking at the media outside of conservative media? Does anyone get critical of California? Does CNN and MSNBC or the New York Times and Washington Post, are they ever critical of what's going on in California or even San Francisco? There was an article just a couple days ago in the New York Times about San Francisco saying, oh, we're okay. You're okay? What are you talking about? Your crime rate is through the roof. You've got people dying in record numbers. Businesses are closing down, and people are leaving your city. San Francisco is one of the only cities I truly believe it might be too late for. But all these other communities, all these other cities and towns that are struggling right now and feel like they're on the precipice of failure, they can be saved if you know how to save them. And so I try to give those tools so people know how to save their own communities.
But does the Republicans even get in there to these cities and say, look at me?
I don't know if it has to be a Republican. I think it needs to be moderate Democrats. You're not going to get Republicans to save San Francisco, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, D.C. You're just not going to get that. But can you at least tell the Democrats who are the voters there that the radicals who have usurped all of this power from the party, that they've gone too far?
Gavin Newsom on the border, cut 22.
The border, we all agree we have border challenge. We all agree we need to reform the asylum system. We agree in strong borders. It's wildly overstated, but I get your fundamental point. Clearly, the challenges are more acute today. And by the way, I don't need to be educated on this. I have the largest land port in the Western Hemisphere here in the state of California.
He doesn't need to be educated, does he?
Well, no, I think he does. And I think anyone who's aware of what's going on the border thinks all Democrats have to be educated.
I think Republicans should... I think he's vulnerable when you examine him, but he's so much more formidable than Biden. You don't want to take out the president before the election in any way.
I totally agree.
Let him run. Jason Rantz, congratulations on the book. Pick it up. It's called What's Killing America. Jason, go get him.
Thank you.
When running a business, your employees can create all kinds of interesting situations, like getting complaints because someone on the team always smells terrible. You better talk to Bambi. With Bambi, you get access to your own dedicated HR manager, starting at $99 per month. They're available by phone, by email, real-time chat, so onboarding and terminations run smoothly, team members reach peak performance, and your business stays compliant with changing HR regulations, which is not easy. And with Bambi's HR Autopilot, you'll be automated important HR practices too, like policy training, like feedback. HR managers can easily cost $80,000 a year, but Bambi starts at $99 per month. The time is now, because Bambi has a special offer for the listeners to this show. Sign up for Bambi right now. They'll pay your setup fee. That's $1,500, but only if you use my name, Kilmeade, under radio. Right now, save up to $1,500. Spell BAM, BEE.com. Kilmeade Radio.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's the first hearing on a Biden impeachment inquiry. Lisa Brady, Fox News. But there's caution about moving forward.
House Oversight Committee Republicans say bank records point to foreign business officials giving Hunter Biden money either directly or through various companies set up. But to date, there's no direct evidence the president himself profited. The first witness, George Washington law professor Jonathan Turley, told Republicans,
dishonesty alone is not impeachable.
Republicans say Hunter Biden set up shell companies to transfer funds from China or Ukraine to Hunter's associates and then to Hunter himself.
It takes a heavy lift to pull the covers back on these shell companies to determine who the true beneficial owners are, where the money went, and to expose the true sham nature of their existence.
Forensic accountant Bruce Dubinsky said shell companies often have no actual purpose other than to mask money transfers.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Democrats say the hearing is an attempted distraction from time running out on avoiding a government shutdown. The day after their second debate, a chance for Republican presidential hopefuls to reinforce their message, like earning voters' trust for Vivek Ramaswamy, who tells Fox Business
that, yes, a young commander-in-chief, an outsider to politics, someone from a different generation can actually reunite this country and lead us forward. I personally believe that's exactly what it's going to take.
He also defends outreach to younger voters on TikTok, while Nikki Haley doubles down on her criticism of him for using a platform with national security concerns.
This is a major espionage tool that China's using. Why are you getting on it? I think it disqualifies him right off the bat.
The Biden campaign calls the Republican candidates the most extreme slate in history. The Irish-born actor Michael Gambon has died.
Welcome to another year at Hogwarts.
Best known for playing Dumbledore in the Harry Potter films, though he had a 5-decade-long career spanning TV, theater, and radio as well. Michael Gambon was 82. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Certainly not going to feel like fall going through our Thursday afternoon. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 85 for the high today. Nowhere close to a record. The record for the state, 97 degrees. Tonight, clear skies. A slow drop out of the 80s early evening. 62 for the overnight low. The full harvest moon overnight. Friday, sunny skies and 88. Saturday and Sunday, sunny and dry. 88 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314 782-3333.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today. sidingexpress.com.
Hello, I am Missouri State Treasurer Vivek Malik. How would you like a tax break and help kids? You can with the Most Scholars program. When you make a donation to Most Scholars to provide scholarships, you can cut up to half of your state income taxes. The Most Scholars tax credit is available for individuals and businesses. Learn more by going to mostscholars.com, or you may call 573-751-8533.
Sponsored by the Missouri State Treasurer's Office.
Start your Amazon business.
Hi, Ian Bauer. My first year averaged $45,000 a month in sales. Now I'm at $90,000 a month and hardly working.
In 2020, Americans made $50 billion selling on Amazon. Join America's Amazon expert, Dylan Frost, where anyone can learn how to start an Amazon business for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. Attend the Wholesale Formula 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at the Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family. Available at Walmart and other participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
This is Kim St. Ange with the Mark Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk. I can see clearly now thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra with Ophthalmology Associates, and you can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
This is a question of an impeachment inquiry. It is not a vote on articles of impeachment. In fact, I do not believe that the current evidence would support articles of impeachment. That is something that an inquiry has to establish. But I also do believe that the House has passed the threshold for an impeachment inquiry into the conduct of President Biden. Having said that, I want to just address three inescapable facts that led me to that conclusion. First, President Biden has indeed spoken falsely about these foreign deals. The Washington Post and other newspapers have noted that some of his past comments are demonstrably untrue. Second, President Biden was the focus of a multi-million-dollar influence peddling scheme. And then finally, President Biden may have benefited from millions of dollars as a part of that scheme.
Welcome to the Annie Frey Show, fresh off the GOP debate last night and directly headfirst diving into impeachment inquiries in the House. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired. Are you tired, bro? Like, whoa.
No, what's after tired? I'm that.
Yeah, you are here. This is the way this is going to go. We are 404 days away from the 2024 election, and this is where I like to remind you 88 days from Christmas, just to get your shopping going. It's gonna make you less stressed out than politics, maybe. I don't know. It's white knuckle time. That was Jonathan Turley talking as one of the expert witnesses in front of the impeachment inquiry hearing that is taking place right now. And we're going to talk about this. We're going to dive into what we've heard some more. We're going to give you the bits and pieces, and we're going to iron out the details with a special guest in about 15 minutes. Of course, Hans von Spakovsky joining us, who's going to talk to us about what he's heard so far today. Let me set the table for you real quick. What are the Republicans saying? What are the Democrats saying? First of all, let's just say Democrats are saying Trump, and then things. This is the constant, just, very steady drumbeat that comes from the left. Yeah, but Trump. Okay, we get it. We understand it. You guys went in headfirst into impeaching him twice when he was in the House. And excuse me why I can't contain the yawns when you keep saying, this looks like this is a political endeavor into a... the feigning pearl clutching and aghast nature of these Democrats who are like, the founding fathers did not want impeachment to be something we use as a political power play. Shut up. Just stop it. This is an impeachment inquiry for people who are paying attention right now. You might not know the difference between an impeachment inquiry and an impeachment. I, too, did not. Oh, they got a picture of Jared Kushner and Ivanka up now. Yes, clearly. She looks fantastic in that photograph. Jared Kushner looks happy to be standing next to Ivanka, as most men would be. When they went into an impeachment inquiry on Donald Trump, part 1, I remember them voting and being like, oh my gosh, they're going to impeach Donald Trump. They're going to really try to do this. And stuff happened, and I remember staying up all hours of the night watching them go back and forth and watching Jared Nadler wander around the House chambers and people going, get him back in here, make him sit down, don't let him talk. And then he would just walk up to the microphone and talk. I think that was during the actual Senate hearing. And they voted in favor. The majority voted yes. And then they're like, we are going to seek an impeachment. And I'm like, what? I thought we just did that. And it turned out that they did an impeachment inquiry first, which is the fact-finding mission one might do, an investigation of sorts to determine whether or not the House should actually dive into impeaching the president. So I went through, because I'm an idiot and I'm learning these things on the fly, I went through the whole impeachment inquiry process thinking they were actually working to impeach him and realizing in real time, because this was somewhat unprecedented in my then 6-7 years of being alive, that this is the process this goes through. Some of you might remember in the 90s when Bill Clinton was impeached, and I don't, because I was in 5th and 6th grade. So I was not studying up on those things quite yet at that time. Jonathan Turley says in his opening statement a few things. And it's important to understand that we are in the impeachment inquiry part. We all understand what the word inquiry means. We are inquiring as to whether or not an impeachment process should be engaged upon in the House of Representatives. Jonathan Turley makes it clear that he doesn't believe that they have what they need to go into an impeachment yet, but that there are a lot of questions that need to be answered that would determine whether that impeachment would be necessary, hence the impeachment inquiry.
Now, those facts should not be taken out of context. They're merely allegations, and they should not become presumptions of impeachable conduct. Indeed, as I've said in past impeachments, self-dealing is a difficult issue under the impeachment clause. The framers sought to avoid ambiguous standards. That's one of the reasons that perfidy was rejected. While it may not sit well with many, President Biden and other presidents can be dishonest, can even lie to the American people, and that would not constitute an impeachable offense. Indeed, most presidents have lied to the American people. That's why I've not liked any president since James Madison.
Okay, well, that's a pretty specific allegation there. He doesn't like any president since James Madison because they're all liars, essentially. Here's more from Turley.
Now, dishonesty alone is not impeachable. And so what I lay out in my testimony are what I call guardrails or best practices. Those are designed to protect this process. Frankly, a number of the things I lay out benefit President Biden, as I say in my testimony. Because presidential impeachment shouldn't be a closed question. It shouldn't be a rush to judgment. And you should avoid the type of confirmation bias that can occur in this process. This is, as people say, a political process, but it is also a constitutional process. Influence peddling is a form of corruption. The United States has signed treaties to combat this form of corruption around the world. And that is also an inescapable fact. We need to find answers as to some of these questions.
So Turley is going to wrap it up here. I'm going to play one more clip from him, and then we're going to skip ahead to Byron Donalds, Congressman Donalds' 5 minutes of questioning that was probably an hour and a half, I don't know, later in this process. And the process is still going on right now. But it's important to understand what Jonathan Turley is saying here. We need more information before we responsibly pursue an impeachment of Joe Biden. This is, Jonathan Turley is a Fox News legal analyst, one of their number one go-tos along with Andy McCarthy. You see him on Fox News all the time. And a lot of people will be like, Turley's a Fox person. I bet he loves Donald Trump and he hates Joe Biden. Actually, first of all, he said he didn't like any president since Madison, which includes Biden and Trump. So, right there, he's not really endorsing either of those individuals. And secondly, he's saying right now there's more information that needs to be attained before we pursue this in a way that is constitutional and responsible to the American people.
I'm running out of time, so I'd like to make one last observation, if I may. These are constitutional moments that demand the best from each of us to transcend the politics and passions of our time. It calls for something that's difficult. It calls for solemnity and clarity from members. We have become a nation addicted to rage, and we can fuel that. This body is a powerful teacher, as Brandeis said, and you can teach that, or you can teach a respect for this process. It begins here and now. We can disagree with each other without hating each other. These are important issues, and I think they're close issues, and I think some of these issues really do gravitate in favor of the president. So I would simply say that this is a moment where members and citizens can't stand together without prejudging the evidence. And I thank you for the honor of appearing before you today.
Jonathan Turley wrapping up his opening statement of sorts for the hearing that's taking place today on the impeachment inquiry. So what he's saying there is we are in a position right now where, as a nation addicted to rage, so true, both sides, we fuel our daily conversations with rage that we have for the other side. What Turley is saying is, let's get to the facts. Let's look at the evidence and see what it bears, and then make a judgment from there. Byron Donalds, in his 5 minutes today, I want you to listen in.
Mr. Dubinsky, I want to come to you quickly. A lot of talk about evidence. On the screens in the room, we have an organizational chart from the IRS investigative team that was looking into the business practices of Hunter Biden and his associates. This org chart is from 2014. Now, Mr. Dubinsky, when my former life, I was in community banking, and I'm comfortable with looking at organizational charts. When I first saw this chart, the first thing I thought about was a real estate holding company or a developer, and this is not to demean developers in the great East State of America, but developers typically have multiple companies that float with various business interests and business lines. But the funny thing is that in the business dealings of Hunter Biden, there is no real estate, none at all. So, Mr. Dubinsky, in your professional experience, looking at this organizational chart of business structure, what do you see here?
I see a very complicated structure of entities that are interrelated and would give me concern. If I were an investigator, I would want to know what's going on in these entities, who's behind them, how's the money moving between them, and what is the substance of the transactions? What's really going on here?
Mr. Dubinsky, do you think it's in the interest of this committee that is now in an inquiry phase to actually find out all of the flow of money between these entities and what the purpose was?
Absolutely.
Next slide, please. For my colleagues on the other side, we're going to start talking evidence now. This is now a slide of the organizational chart of the Hunter Biden business companies and with associates from 2018, from the same IRS investigators who were broke down the business structure in 2014. Does this slide cause you the same concern, Mr. Dubinsky?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Now let's talk about some more. Actually, one point I want to make on this. Ladies and gentlemen, and I know it's kind of small, so I would love to submit all this for the record. I would love my colleagues on the other side to see this. In 2014, one of the key owners was Devin Archer, who did testify, was under deposition under oath by the Oversight Committee. In 2018, Devin Archer is no longer listed. but his wife, Krista Archer, is now listed. Mr. Dubinsky, when you see a situation where ownership interest moves from one spouse to the other, is that a concern of some level of fraud potentially?
I would call it a red flag. That's something I would look at and again, try to get to the bottom of what happened there. Was it just transferred? Was there money behind it? What was going on?
Okay, thank you. Next slide. Now, this is to a text message. This is a text message between, it's going to Naomi Biden. That's what this one is. Hold on, wait, so let me get my stuff back. There we go. Sorry. This is the WhatsApp text message between Jim Biden and Hunter Biden. In this text message, it clearly says, anyway, we can talk later, but you've been drawn into something purely for the purpose of protecting Dad. This is between Hunter Biden and Jim Biden. Last time I checked, the father of Jim Biden and Joe Biden is now passed away. So I'm assuming this is Hunter Biden saying to Jim Biden, the president's brother, that you've been brought in this for the sole purpose of protecting Dad. Ms. O'Connor, do you think that this text message would lead this committee to get further information about the business dealings of Hunter Biden and how that actually links to Jim Biden, the president's brother, and why they are so concerned with protecting Dad, a.k.a. Joe Biden, a.k.a. the President of the United States?
Yes.
Thank you. Next slide, please. This is a text message between Hunter Biden and Naomi Biden. And this one is a famous one. Everybody knows this one. This is a famous one that says, I hope you all do what I did and pay for everything for this entire family for 30 years. It's really hard. But don't worry, unlike Pop, I won't make you give me half your salary. Mr. Dubinsky, if you saw a text message like this in a potential money laundering operation or a potential pay-for-play operation, would you be looking for information related to money going from son to father?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Thank you. Next slide. Oh, this is a fun one. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is from 2018. This is about 4 months before Joe Biden launched his campaign for president of the United States, December 2018. The highlight is, this is a text message between Jim Biden and Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden was in a bad way, by the way. He was really strung out. He lost a bunch of money. He needed help. Jim Biden says, this can work. You need a safe harbor. I can work with your father alone. It'll probably take several months and everybody can read the text. Ms. O'Connor, Mr. Dubinsky, if you saw a text message like this between the president's brother and the president's son, wouldn't you be concerned about them trying to give plausible deniability for the president of the United States to not have any knowledge of said business dealings?
It's worth.
Gentleman's time's expired, but please answer the question.
It's worth investigating.
Mr. Dubinsky?
I would agree. I would investigate this.
I yield back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, exactly. I yield back. What a well done line of questioning by Byron Donalds, because what he's doing follows what we heard from Jonathan Turley, who was pretty measured in his approach. He's saying, we don't have the facts yet. In his legal opinion, Jonathan Turley is saying, we don't have the evidence yet to proceed with an impeachment of President Joe Biden. But we do have questions that require answers. And Byron Donalds there articulates very well with the words of Hunter Biden himself why it might be the case that all of the enrichment that Hunter Biden has enjoyed globally while his father was the vice president of the United States, potentially a candidate to be the president of the United States. Eventually he did, of course, as you all know. Why it is that we should be raising an eyebrow or two about what Joe Biden's involvement and benefit was in the money that was coming in from foreign adversarial countries. Thank you, Congressman Donalds. You yield back. It was great. There are other ones that we're going to play throughout the course of the show, but when we come back, Hans von Spakovsky is going to give us a little sideline report from what he's heard so far today in this congressional testimony at this hearing, this impeachment inquiry hearing. You got it all right here on 97.1 FM Talk. We'll be back with Hans in just a few minutes.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
But every tear has been a lesson. Rejection can be God's protection. Long, hard road to get that redemption, but no shortcuts to a blessing. Yeah, I'm faithful. Scratch that, baby, I'm faithful.
So Ruler Foods was our host yesterday to do the Diaper Drive broadcast. It was wonderful to be there and saw so many of you all who showed up in such a great effort to bring those diapers to the St. Louis Diaper Bank to sponsor and support Princess Storm and Hot 104.1. But what I did hear from several people who came is, you know what? I'd never been to Ruler Foods before. Their jaws were dropped on how much money you could save. I saw people walking out with those 88-cent each eggs for a dozen eggs. 88 cents, that's crazy. They were really impressed with the layout of the store, how easy and organized and clean it is to go through and shop. And I think that there are quite a few converts yesterday who finally made it into a Ruler Foods and realized what I've been talking about for so long. There's no reason not to shop at Ruler Foods unless you just don't like saving money. I'm not one of those people. I like to save money every time I possibly can. They have Jamestown brand bacon, 16 ounces right now, $2.99. Boneless pork mixed chops, 1.5 pounds of Heritage Farm beef patties, $5 each. They have 3-pound Kroger apples or navel oranges, $3.49 a bag. You can get your produce, you can get your protein, your dairy products, and those eggs, 88 cents a dozen. It's incredible. Go find the Ruler Foods closest to you online by going to rulerfoods.com.
Make the Goodwill choice. Donate to Goodwill and help put people to work right here in St. Louis. And help yourself to a Lion's Choice famous roast beef sandwich. Clean out those closets and cabinets. Take your donations to Goodwill during the month of September, and you'll get a coupon for an original Lion's Choice roast beef sandwich, courtesy of Lion's Choice. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill. It's the right choice for Lion's Choice. Hurry, supplies are limited. Get details at mersgoodwill.org.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town & Country, Missouri, 63017. CordellCordell.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle. This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe. Learn Dell's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2023. Save 60%. Code 2023. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
97.1 FM Talk. You're here because the times, they are a-changing. St. Louis is home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow.
We know the Biden family made millions of dollars as a result of Hunter Biden's foreign influence peddling and the selling of the Biden brand. At least $24 million in payments were directed to Biden family members and associates through numerous shell companies.
We the people of the United States,
More perfect.
in order to form of our perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Well, Hans, you're the right guy at the right time here on the Annie Frey Show. We've been watching some of this impeachment inquiry. And before I ask you any specific targeted questions, of which I have about 1,000, what have you seen so far from the House committee looking into the inquiry of an impeachment of Joe Biden?
Well, I tell you, the funniest thing to me is watching the reaction of liberal newspapers and liberal news sites. You know, their headlines are, "Oh, key witness for Republicans sinks their whole case." And what are they talking about? Well, they're talking about the fact that Jonathan Turley, one of the three witnesses, who's a well-known constitutional law professor, said that that currently the House doesn't have enough evidence to impeach the president. Well, of course not. That's not the purpose of this committee. This committee has opened up an inquiry into gathering evidence to determine whether or not Joe Biden has committed enough acts to warrant impeachment. But instead, the liberal media just ignores that. It's like saying that some criminal prosecutor, they haven't prosecuted a particular individual right when they're just opening the investigation. And that's what's going on here. They're simply opening the investigation. And, you know, the three witnesses they brought, besides Jonathan Turley, was Eileen O'Connor, who I actually know personally, because she was the head of the tax division at the Justice Department when I was there. And she came in to tell them about how criminal tax investigations are supposed to be conducted. And clearly, we know from the IRS whistleblowers that wasn't properly done with regard to Hunter Biden. And, of course, the other witness they got is a forensic accountant, Bruce Dubinsky, who is there to explain how fraud occurs with shell companies, which is something that we know that Hunter Biden set up.
Right. The Democrats are obsessed with 2 points. One of them is Donald Trump anything. And so we're going to put that out there and set that aside for right now, because obviously. And secondly, they're very focused and keyed in on the idea this is a Hunter Biden question. This has no connection to Joe Biden, and there's no proof of it whatsoever. And then as they are putting those 2 points together, they try to make the case, the Democrats collectively are trying to make the case that this is a political endeavor by the House, that it is not something that is timely and respectful to the Constitution and to Americans and their tax dollars. And, I'm looking at this and thinking to myself, this isn't something they just brought up, that the Republicans have just brought up right now, just as we are 404 days from an election. You mentioned the whistleblowers. How many times in the past, 10 years, have we seen people challenge the way business was being handled around the Bidens to try to throw a flag or blow a whistle, and for whatever particular reason, whatever bureaucracy was involved, got in the way and threw up an obstacle?
Oh, well, yeah, that's typical Washington, and you can see partisan politics at work here. But look, actually, again, going back to Jonathan Turley, the constitutional law professor who the left is saying, has sunk the case. No, if you look at his testimony, his written testimony, he actually summarized it very well. He says Hunter Biden and his associates were running a classic influence peddling operation using Joe Biden as what Devin Archer called the brand. And they generated literally millions of dollars that were distributed to virtually all the members of the Biden family through, 20 different shell corporations. So the key question to determine is, well, how involved was Joe Biden in all of this? And what the Democrats are saying is, well, so far there's no evidence he was involved at all. Well, his family was certainly using him and his influence to make these millions of dollars. So shouldn't we be investigating how much he knew about it and how much he was involved in it? They don't want that to happen. And why do you think they don't want it to happen? Well, if it's really true that he had no involvement, they should welcome an investigation, because the investigation would show that he wasn't involved. But the fact that they're fighting it tooth and nail, I think, tells you they're really afraid of what this investigation is going to turn up.
Yeah. I want to play for you a clip yesterday from the chair, Comer, Representative Comer, about some new information that had recently been revealed.
Well, I can tell you that on the wire that Hunter Biden received from the Chinese national, the beneficiary address listed was Joe Biden's home address at a time where I'm pretty certain Hunter Biden was not living in the home of Joe Biden.
So what is this new information about money being wired to the home address of Joe Biden? Is there any extra smoke coming from a gun with that piece of evidence?
Yes, because remember, Joe Biden has constantly said, I knew nothing about it, I had no involvement in it, and yet we have money being wired to him at his residence? Look, if this was anybody other than Joe Biden, if this was Tony Soprano, everybody would be saying, oh, the dirty money was wired to your home. Well, you obviously were involved in this, wouldn't they? They would. But because it's Joe Biden, the Democrats keep claiming, oh, well, there's just nothing to it. And that's kind of hard to explain away.
Well, we watched as the Democrats and Adam Schiff pursued Donald Trump doggedly multiple times to impeach him, and the evidence that they had against him, it never really materialized. Adam Schiff kept saying, just wait, just wait, just wait. Well, we're still waiting, and it's 2023 for Adam Schiff to be able to produce the goods that he said that he had. And I could see, I mean, the Democrats are experts at this. They just say the things that Republicans have been saying about Democrats for so long. They just flip the script, change the names, say the same things back, righteously indignant in the manner with which they do it. And sometimes it seems like they get away with it. You think they're going to get away with it this time as well?
I don't think so. I think all of their efforts to make this go away have been unsuccessful because the Republicans have not been scared off in the House. They are doggedly pursuing this. Every day they gather more evidence from emails like the one you were just talking about, documents from banks, and they're not being scared off. And it's very clear from the polling that the American people also think that there's a problem here, and there's a problem with what Joe Biden was doing.
Hans, when you are looking at all of the questions that are arising, and then, you find more documents, I'm waiting for the documents to show up that dramatically disprove the hunch that the House Republicans have that those whistleblowers had at the IRS, the people who were involved in the investigations that were saying, this does not smell right. And why are you telling me we're not allowed to include Joe Biden's name in this document that you're supposed to take him out and not pursue, the full entirety of questions that we have here? Do you feel like there's anything that has surfaced that the Democrats are going to sink their teeth in that distracts away from proving this body of evidence? Is there anything that's causing this to be more gray area than all of the evidence we continue to see pushing the House Republicans in the direction of potentially actually impeaching the President of the United States?
No, so far there hasn't been a single piece of evidence that has surfaced to counter all of the other evidence that has been coming to light, showing the influence peddling operation that Hunter Biden and his partners were running, including, like I said, the latest of, money being actually wired to the president's home in Delaware. I mean, I just don't see how you can dismiss that and say, oh, well, this shouldn't even be investigated.
Do you feel like when the Democrats pivot to Donald Trump, I was watching here, they've had pictures up of Jared Kushner and Ivanka, big, expensive, I'm sure, to produce cardboard posters of the Trumps back there just to make a point. When they pivot from the conversation in hand and the purpose of the hearing to Donald Trump, does that show weakness on their part?
Yes, it does. Because, both their attempts to impeach him failed because it turned out that, for example, the huge investigations they generated on the supposed involvement of Trump with the Russian government turned out to be a complete and total hoax. And the American people just don't believe those allegations against Donald Trump, which were proven not to be true. And so every time they bring up a cardboard figure of Donald Trump or members of his family, it makes people, I think, even more suspicious because they're clearly just trying to distract attention from what's going on. Think about the fact that we have all this evidence of something like $20 million flowing from foreign companies, foreign governments, including the Chinese communists, directly to the son of the president. And yet there was never a single piece of evidence of a penny coming from foreign governments or the Chinese communists to Donald Trump or any member of his family. You contrast those two and then tell me which of those two cases ought to be investigated.
Yeah, I completely agree. Hans, last question before we let you go. We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky with the Heritage Foundation. All of this money coming in to Hunter Biden. You've listened to the Democrats, and they say, he was doing this, has nothing to do with Joe Biden. Hunter Biden's a private citizen and always has been, never held elected office. Where did all of that money go? Wouldn't you be able to, that is a lot of money. Shouldn't they be able to say, the money's right here? Where is all that money?
Well, apparently, according to what Chairman Comer has found, Hunter Biden didn't get all of it. He got a lot of it, which he obviously spent on drugs and women and all kinds of things. But remember, they have shown that the whole reason for those 20 different shell companies being set up was to distribute the money to members of the Biden family. And so a lot of it went to, the entire family apparently was made wealthy by this influence peddling operation. The question is, did Joe Biden also get any of that money? Certainly members of his family did.
Yeah. And according to Jonathan Turley, that is problematic. Even if not a penny went into the pocket of President Joe Biden, Vice President Joe Biden, that the enrichment of his family is still a corrupt problem that needs to be investigated.
That is exactly right. It's like, look, if a bribe is paid to the wife of a member of Congress to engage in certain actions, went to the wife, didn't go directly to the member of Congress. Is there anybody out there who doesn't think that the congressman is complicit in that bribery?
I don't know. I know that Senator Menendez's wife's bail was a lot bigger than his, so it seems like that was a problem. Hans, thank you for being with us, and we look forward to having you back. The story's going to continue, and we always love your input.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Of course. Bye-bye. Hans von Spakovsky is a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Brad, as I'm sitting here having this conversation with Hans, and I think the big question is, where is the money? Because if you are not afraid of the money, you probably don't stuff it in your coat pockets or ask for it in gold bars. I've never asked for my money in gold bars. But there's other reasons for that. Here's a question for you. Just have this thought right now, and I'm going to say it out loud to you and see if you think along the lines I do. If you were going to have somebody who is at the hub of all of this corruption, who's going to be going around the world and making these deals that was going to enrich the entire family in Hunter Biden, it would be tragically convenient that the thing that would wrap him up the most, that hub, would be Vice's that are not documented on forms cost ridiculous sums of money, and that the reckless spending there would be in such a gray area for hookers and blow.
Right.
That when you say, where is the money? That this poor man's addiction could conveniently explain it all away.
Could conveniently explain it all away, or conveniently hide it as well, because you don't keep bank records for your drug dealers.
That's my point.
You
Or
don't-
your hookers.
Or your hookers.
They're not reporting the cash flow to the IRS. So how much money did you spend? How much money can you spend on drugs and women? I have no idea. And I think that that's actually the kind of the point. Let's take a quick break. We'll get Wiggins in here for Wiggins America when we return. Millennial women say these men make the best husbands. This is the thing that everybody wants to know. And we've got it for you right here on Wiggins America when we come back. Advice on being the best husband from millennials and Brian Wiggins, who is also a millennial, when we return.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
GatewayDRS.com. That's the website for Gateway ENT. They've got a team of ENTs, ear, nose, and throat doctors that are waiting for your phone call. They're taking new patients, and they can get you in fast. You've probably kicked this can down the road because going to a new doctor, you think about referrals, and you think about, oh, they're not going to be able to see me for 3 months, and then maybe the season that I'm trying to fight through will be over with by then. No, that's not the way it works at Gateway ENT. You can get your problem assessed right away by calling 314-843-3828. That's 314-843-3828. Gateway ENT is one of the oldest private practice ear, nose, and throat groups in the St. Louis area. They treat people from all over the bi-state region because people are willing to make the travel to get to Gateway ENT because they are the ones who will see them, who will refer based on what is best for the patient, not some system that they belong to. And they see patients in a very timely fashion. They are a cost-effective and convenient alternative to ENT practices that are employed by a lot of these large hospital systems that sometimes seem to benefit the system more than the patient. Not at Gateway ENT. When you go see Dr. Hardiman or anybody in the great staff of ENTs that they have, they're experts sought out by some of the most prolific St. Louisans that you might or might not know. They are going to be able to see you and help you get through this problem and fix things that maybe you have chronically thought were unfixable. You just got to give them a call. 314-843-3828. 314-843-3828. Online, like I said, at gatewaydrs.com.
It looks like wood, it feels like wood, but it's maintenance-free. It's luxurious James Hardie siding. And during Banner Construction's 30th anniversary event, you get same-as-cash financing on Hardie products and Pella windows. Let Banner Construction transform your home into the envy of the neighborhood. Call now and have Banner's design team give you some great options and a free quote. 314-569-1050. Online, bannerconstruction.com. That's 569-1050. And have a banner day.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The vote is in. STL Today has certified the result. Onderlaw has been voted 2023's best law firm in St. Louis.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
This station is now conducting a test of the emergency alert.
St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki created Neovitin 15 years ago to help support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Since then, Neovitin has helped thousands of people support their daily nutrition with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Abicki's proprietary blend. If you're ready to join many St. Louisans in supporting their nutrition, give Neovitin a try. You can find Neovitin at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll of the day. How will a GOP pursuit for impeachment affect them politically? Will it help or will it hurt? We want to know not only your vote, but why you think it will either help or hurt. Let us know on the YouTube live chat. It is 12:50 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Conservative solutions, objective conclusions. For news and opinion, this is St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
Me and my friends at the table doing shots, tripping fast, and then we talk slow. And you come over and start up a conversation with just me, and trust me, I'll give it a chance. Now take my hand, stop it, and the man on the jukebox, and then we start to dance. And now I'm singing like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I may be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! I know we have a lot of millennial men and women who listen to the show, and I am here today to help you in the midst of a lot of political drama.
How many millennial men and women who listen to the show, what percentage are already married?
For the sake of this segment, I'm going to hope it's like 10, 12%.
I think it's probably about 95.
I'm going to hope.
Yeah. So 95% of millennial men listening right now are going to find out whether you think they're a good or not husband. Is that what we're getting at?
I think so.
I mean, can a millennial woman make this decision until she's had a husband?
Yeah. You can choose
how
who
do you
to
know
marry.
How do you know what a good husband is until you've had a husband and go, oh,
I don't think you need to have a husband to know what a good husband is. You could know what your father was. My father is a great husband, and I didn't need to get married to know that.
Well, in light of that comment, I don't know if this is really going to work out for people.
Let's just go ahead first. Let's find out if you and Brad are good husbands.
Millennial women, which is anybody roughly right now under about 40 and under to about late 20s, somewhere in there.
1980.
Roughly.
2000.
Millennial women say these type of men make the best husbands. The first sentence of the article, the geek gets the girl.
To define what that is.
Pretending to be a Jedi Knight armed with a glowing lightsaber, fanning out over Star Wars, anime animations, and even rocking a clunky pocket protector. These are all the makings of a great husband, according to social media know-it-alls.
Check.
Go for the nerd. Encouraged soon-to-be married podcaster Isabel Brown, who's 26, from Florida, in a TikTok trend that has gotten over 5.3 million views with lots and lots of comments.
What else?
In confirmation. Now, there are 3 things that this person says, here's what you look for in a husband. And they're very specific, Brad.
Geeky.
Number 1, he owns a lightsaber.
Check.
Uh-oh.
Number 2, he has purchased a wand from the wizarding world of Harry Potter.
What's the source of this stupid article?
This is a big blowing up TikTok trend.
It's just
that's the source.
Who wrote the article?
I think this is New York Post.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, legit people are talking about this.
Yeah.
Not just
it's crossover.
TikTokers. Yeah.
Right. And number 3, if he has an unhealthy obsession with Ashoka Tano.
Is this the entirety of the article, or is this is this one A, B, and C?
This is A, B, and C. This is the 3 check marks that they say if your husband or future husband has these things, you should marry them.
The entirety of this article is about that?
Well, it goes into the psychology of it a little bit.
But I mean, like, the second one isn't like he enjoys spending time with children.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, according to this, Jared is a terrible husband. And according to me, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, here's their rationale, though. It says,
Yeah, please explain it to me so I can understand it better.
women agreed with her belief that nerds are prime partners sharing their own experiences with stereotypically unpopular guys, saying that things like they are more sensitive. They were able to see, here's the best one. They were able to see men scoring big with hot women and saw them also mess up, so they were able to learn from sitting on the sidelines.
I am disgusted at this because this is first of all, see, I can't even form sentences. How angry this makes me because first of all, I want to say, Google the age of this millennial because she ain't 40.
No,
she's 26.
Exactly. God dang it!
Yep.
She doesn't know nothing.
She's 26.
She doesn't know.
But she is married.
Yeah, yesterday.
Probably.
No, sit down, little girl. You don't know what you're talking about. What you want is somebody who is reliable, who is going to care for people other than themselves. And you don't want a man who's going to sit there and wait for you to tell him what to do. That's what this is. They're taking people. She is saying geeks and nerds are easy to control. And Brad is a geek and a nerd, and he's not easy to control because he's a man about it.
And I only had the lightsaber. I didn't have any of those other things.
Yeah, he's like,
I actually hate the Ahsoka movie or the Ahsoka series.
Yeah, but I think that the thing says that they can't stop talking about it. So you don't weigh in with your opinion right now.
Fine.
At this point, we'll come back to that later.
You're not wrong because it said one of the quotes from the relationship gurus.
One more time. I'm not done
that
yet.
The relationship gurus they interviewed about this topic, they said that the self-crowned guide went on to note that the nerd too has learned the importance of loyalty, honor, and character through their brainy vices.
No. Loyalty, honor, and character. What this 26-year-old newly married, probably soon to be divorced person is saying, loyalty, honor, and character as defined by the woman in the life. You don't want to be his mother. You think you want to be in charge. You think you want to be in control. You think you want to be the alpha in the relationship. But I'm here to tell you, you don't. You're wrong. And you don't know that yet. You want somebody who is going to honor something bigger than you and your marriage. You want somebody whose character is built on something bigger than you and your marriage. And what was the other one? Loyalty? You want somebody who is loyal to something that is bigger than you and your marriage. Because there's something bigger than you in your marriage. I hate to break it to you, 26-year-old lady. There's a gnat flying around my face. I think that's Satan incarnate trying to tell me to stop being mean to this person. Yes. What you need to understand is that you are not the most important person in the world. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you are not good enough by yourself and that you will join together with somebody else to be something better than that person could be on their own, and then you join together and make a promise in front of God about what that's going to be. Stop being obsessed with yourself. You will never be happy that way. What were you saying?
Lightsabers and wands.
Yeah, I hate it all. Not Brad's, though. His is great. We'll be right back.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Well, there's a lot of good men out there who've worked really hard during their careers to save money for retirement so they can continue to provide. And guess what? Of course, there are a lot of good women out there who have done the same. When you get to that point in retirement or in your career where retirement is the next step, you're in your late 50s and your 60s, maybe you've just retired. You're looking at the economy, you're looking at the state of affairs in this country, and you're like, gosh, I can't take a huge market downturn, and it's got you worried and it's got you nervous. And I'm telling you that you need to go to the Retirement Advisory Group, Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's this Tuesday, October 3rd. It starts at 6:30. I'm going to get there at 6 o'clock and hopefully meet you there between 6 and 6:30. I'd love to shake your hand and welcome you to the event. It's a quick event. It costs you nothing, but you do need to reserve your space to learn how you can make sure that you don't have that worry in your retirement. You call to reserve your spot, 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. You find them right now online at retirementkey.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, and still no deal to bridge the divides on funding the government. The House and Senate both working on short-term bills, with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy hoping to add a border security sweetener.
This is a place where we can get a short-term stopgap if we get something on the border.
That may not be enough, though, for several holdout House Republicans.
Ironically, the House could approve a temporary bill to prevent a shutdown with a mix of Democrats and Republicans, but McCarthy could face a challenge to his speakership if he leans on Democrats.
Fox's Chad Pergram on the Hill. President Biden, whose border policies were under attack during last night's GOP debate, is now visiting Arizona for a speech at the McCain Institute, honoring the late Republican senator while calling the MAGA movement dangerous to democracy. House Republicans holding their first impeachment inquiry hearing.
In the search warrant examining Hunter Biden's electronic communications, they weren't allowed to ask about political figure one. Political figure number one is the big guy, is Joe Biden.
House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan suggesting interference and a cover-up of the president's involvement in his son's business dealings, which the president still denies. The Oversight Committee's ranking Democrat, Jamie Raskin, says there's no evidence of an impeachable offense.
Speaker McCarthy's invertebrate appeasement of the most fanatical elements of his conference now threatens the well-being of every American.
The White House also condemning Republicans for holding the hearing as time runs out to avoid a government shutdown. No word yet on a motive after a lone gunman wearing a bulletproof vest opened fire in the Netherlands, killing a woman and injuring her 14-year-old daughter at an apartment before killing a man at a university hospital in Rotterdam, where the suspect is from, identified as a 32-year-old student now in custody. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Certainly not going to feel like fall going through our Thursday afternoon. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 85 for the high today. Nowhere close to a record. The record for the state, 97 degrees. Tonight, clear skies. A slow drop out of the 80s early evening. 62 for the overnight low. The full harvest moon overnight. Friday, sunny skies and 88. Saturday and Sunday, sunny and dry. 88 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
I always tell you how easy it is to sleep better. Go to Dr. Ty Parker, Fountain'sFamilyDentistry.com is the website, and you can see all the things that I'm about to tell you. Usually it's just that you're tired, but if you have these symptoms in the day, headaches, daytime sleepiness, or poor concentration, or at night, irritability, loud, persistent snoring, restless sleep, or pauses in breathing, you know for sure then that you have sleep apnea. See my friend, Dr. Ty Parker, Fountain's Family Dentistry, like I did roughly 12 years ago now, and I've never looked back. I wear my sleep apnea mouth guard every time I go to sleep, whether it's at night or for a nap, and I get great sleep. And the great thing is you can adjust it on your own. You don't have to go back to the dentist over and over if your mouth, your jaw starts to get used to it. You can adjust it a little bit on your own, and then bam, you're getting great sleep again, just like that. No doctors involved, but you do have to see him first. So go there, Dr. Ty Parker, Fountains Family Dentistry. They will walk you through the whole process from start to finish. It can be complicated, but not with them. See them, fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The vote is in. STL Today has certified the result. Onderlaw has been voted 2023's best law firm in St. Louis.
When you're injured, call Onderlaw at 314 or 618-9000000.
Mark Cox here. Before you sell your home, you should know the facts. What's your home's true value? Which realtor will get you the most money? And as a seller, is the market still in your favor? I spent some time with my friend Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Here's what she told me. The market is still in the seller's favor. However, these next few months before the holidays represent the last prime time to sell your home. Gloria said everyone knows you can't time the real estate market. However, you can sell your home in the months that are statistically the most profitable to sell real estate. For the past 20 years, Gloria's been successfully selling homes in our area. How's she been so successful? She already has the buyers, which allows her to guarantee to sell your home at your pre-agreed upon price and time frame, or she'll buy it. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. You're invited to the Young Republicans Freedom Fest Barbecue. Mark Cox here. Join me October 8th in Fenton. Hear from several GOP power players fighting for the future of the Republican Party and help bring conservative values to Missouri. Learn more at 971talk.com/events. Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being with us here this afternoon. We appreciate your time and joining us to watch and monitor the impeachment inquiry that is taking place on Capitol Hill today. So we had a good conversation with Hans von Spakovsky at 1:25, and we listened to his reaction to what we've seen so far in the impeachment inquiry process. And it's important to understand that the impeachment inquiry is not the same as an impeachment of President Joe Biden. The impeachment inquiry precedes an impeachment of an official, which you can impeach the president of the United States. You could impeach, I don't know, Mayorkas, Secretary Mayorkas. You could do him. That would be great. You can impeach any of these officials and put them in a position to lose their job, essentially. It's how the people fire these officials. And so in order to impeach someone, you have to have the goods. Just like if you were in a court of law and you were in the process of going through being charged, you've been charged with a crime, and then you go into court and you have to have the evidence presented against you. You're presumed innocent until guilt is proven. all of that portion where you actually determine whether or not somebody is guilty of something, that doesn't even happen in the House. That's in the United States Senate. As you will remember, Donald Trump was impeached twice in a Democrat House, and in the House of Representatives, you need a majority of votes to push this thing across the aisle to put an impeachment in place. And what an impeachment effectively is an official charge of some sort of allegation that becomes a charge, and then the Senate is where it's actually tried. So we're not at the point where we're trying Joe Biden for anything. The country is not at the point where they are going to vote to impeach him, which is essentially like what the grand jury would do, what they've done to Donald Trump multiple times to indict somebody. The political process for that, where the civil process of that happens in Congress, is the impeachment. Before you get to the impeachment, you have to put together the facts. You have to assess the evidence that is in front of you and decide if you have a case to charge somebody with a crime. That's where we are right now. An impeachment inquiry is simply put there so that you can take a look at all the facts, assess all of the information, ask all of the questions, and seek out through your investigative terms, through interviews, through questioning, through subpoenas, and find out what the actual facts of the matter are. And then when you put the facts together, you decide, do we have what we need to charge with impeachment the president of the United States, in this case, Joe Biden, or don't we? So an impeachment inquiry might show a whole bunch of nefarious, nasty stuff that doesn't rise to the level of high crimes and misdemeanors that we have seen be assessed in this situation before with the president. So I'm going to play for you a clip here. I played this a little bit earlier, but I think it's very important for you to understand where we are in this process, because people get super hyped and worked up about the idea of an impeachment into Joe Biden. And, we are in the top of the first. We have suited up, and the person has stepped into the batter's box to take a swing at the first pitch. That's where we are in this process with an inquiry. And Jonathan Turley lays that out.
This is a question of an impeachment inquiry. It is not a vote on articles of impeachment. In fact, I do not believe that the current evidence would support articles of impeachment. That is something that an inquiry has to establish. But I also do believe that the House has passed the threshold for an impeachment inquiry into the conduct of President Biden. Having said that, I want to just address three inescapable facts that led me to that conclusion. First, President Biden has indeed spoken falsely about these foreign deals. The Washington Post and other newspapers have noted that some of his past comments are demonstrably untrue. Second, President Biden was the focus of a multi-million-dollar influence peddling scheme. And then finally, President Biden may have benefited from millions of dollars as a part of that scheme.
Anybody who is looking at what we know right now to be true, and what we know, a lot of it comes from Hunter Biden's laptop, what we know to be true, the communications that have taken place between Hunter Biden and a whole host of people, the things that Hunter Biden himself has said, and the bank records that pair up with those conversations, we know money's coming in. We know that they were coming from China. We know that there was money coming in from the board he served on with Burisma. We know of specific political actions that the vice president, Joe Biden, took at the time that correspond in a timely fashion with money coming in and action from the vice president on behalf of the American taxpayer going out. We know all of these things to occur in a very unfortunate timeline for the Hunter Bidens right now, but for the United States of America on the whole. But as Jonathan Turley says, we have a lot of questions that deserve answers. There are a lot of reasons why Americans right now should be leaning into this story and going, what's really going on here? But we don't yet have the full case that has been put together that would push this into an impeachment trial in the House and in the Senate. We don't have that yet. That is why you engage in an impeachment inquiry. And you may at the end decide we don't have what we need to pursue this. The YouTube live chat poll for today is, how will a GOP pursuit for impeachment affect the GOP politically? Will it help them or will it hurt them? You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and you will see that in the live chat portion there, you can vote. Leave a comment and tell us why you think the way you do. Andy McCarthy was on Fox News during one of the breaks and reacted to what he had heard so far. So let's listen to what Fox News' Andy McCarthy had to say.
I think, John, that Jonathan laid it out eloquently as we heard it, which is that there's a lot of serious misbehavior. He takes the position, and I think there's a lot of support for this, that you're not at a point where it would be appropriate to file articles of impeachment, but the behavior that we know the outlines of to this point is sufficiently serious that it cries out that it's the Congress's obligation as the constitutional body that checks executive branch abuse to investigate this. And that's the whole point. That's the point of having this inquiry. I think also it's pretty typical, even though the Democrats have acted like this is the first time this has ever happened. It's pretty typical at the beginning of an impeachment inquiry, in the early stages of it, to have experts come in and explain what the function of the impeachment power in the Constitution is, which Jonathan and Professor Gerhardt have both done, and then a broad outline of some of the important parts of the evidence. So you have a forensic accountant there who can talk about the financial records. You have a former Justice Department official who's very familiar with how the tax division works. And that goes to the heart of the question whether there was an obstruction by the Biden Justice Department of the Biden influence peddling investigation. So I think this is pretty normal for what you would see at the beginning of an inquiry.
Andy, I think, and John, I think you were trying to call for this. It was Jonathan Turley's opening statement. Listen.
So this is the Fox News coverage of it. And when you listen to what Andy McCarthy is doing, he's in line a lot with what Jonathan Turley has said. And you hear how the idea of this inquiry taking place is an important thing in the constitutional process. And when you're listening to the Democrats, when you're listening to Jamie Raskin, who is the ranking member on the committee, the oversight committee that is engaging in this impeachment inquiry, the Democrats are obsessed with the connection to Donald Trump. They are constantly saying, would it be okay if Jared Kushner was in Saudi Arabia and doing business in Saudi Arabia and coming back with $200 billion or whatever it was of funds for a particular reason? And I mean, I think a lot of people on the right would be like, I don't know. I'd kind of like to know more about that. That seems to be a problem, potentially, that maybe we could investigate. The comparative change the names, keep the details the same, I don't really think it works the way the Democrats are presenting it in the way that they think that it works. And watching the Democrats constantly pull away from the questions that exist in this committee hearing about Joe Biden, they're not proving that Joe Biden wasn't involved in anything. The closest they get to saying that Joe Biden wasn't involved in anything is by saying, we have no evidence in front of us right now, no smoking gun in front of us right now that connects Joe Biden unequivocally to the actions of Hunter Biden, the monies that Hunter Biden was made. There is no direct correlation between Joe Biden himself, the individual, and what Hunter Biden was doing. And reminder, Hunter Biden is a private citizen. It matters if Joe Biden was acting on behalf of the enrichment of his family. And that's honestly, in my opinion, the best case outcome here for Joe Biden. The idea that Joe Biden himself was being enriched by this, the Democrats need to understand that while that evidence doesn't exist necessarily at this point in time in a provable way that is necessary to proceed with an impeachment and then a trial in the Senate, that if that evidence does shore up, if it is provable that Joe Biden was an active participant in the influence peddling that Hunter Biden was doing, trotting around the world, serving on boards that he had literally no expertise in, and Hunter Biden himself has said that, If that evidence is produced during this impeachment inquiry, I think you're going to have Democrat votes to impeach Joe Biden. I think you're going to have Democrat votes in the Senate to convict Joe Biden. And I don't think it's ever going to get that far. The closer they get to Joe Biden and how his influence peddling scheme on behalf of the American, or on behalf of the Biden family at the expense of the American taxpayer, look around here, look around yourself, look around the media that you consume. Find me somebody who is championing Joe Biden's second term as the solution for this country. Find me one. The Joe Biden campaign isn't even doing it. Not effectively. They don't want him. Hunter Biden is going to cause this entire thing to come crashing down. Joe Biden's going to save Hunter Biden in the process, save himself, and he's going to step aside, and it's going to be something that is orchestrated by the people on the left. If they don't have a contingency plan in place right now, they are the stupidest people on the face of the planet. The idea that Joe Biden would be feeling the heat the way he should be feeling the heat right now. If the scandal that is surrounding Joe Biden right now, if the illusion of the scandal existed around Donald Trump, about Don Jr., about Eric Trump, about Ivanka Trump, if that scandal existed in a 1,000-mile radius of Donald Trump right now, every single Democrat elected to office and every single Democrat pundit and every single lamestream media anchor would be talking about how awful it is that he continues to run for president. If it were Trump right now and Hunter Biden was a Trump child, it would be over as far as everybody is considered in the entire process. It would be done. The Bidens know that they're getting closer. They know that it looks terrible. But the key here is the political field. The Democrats don't want Joe Biden to be the nominee. They can protect him if they want him. They don't. The House Republicans are going to continue to push. They're going to continue to uncover. And this is all necessary, even in the event that they don't at the end have the rock solid evidence that they need to actually engage in an impeachment vote in the House. This action right now, getting to the truth of what happened, is necessary for the American people, not for an election, not so that we can make sure Republicans win in November, Democrats lose in November. That's not what this is about. This is about getting to the truth and doing it on behalf of the American people. And I, for one, am glad the GOP is doing it. We're going to take a quick break. Dinesh D'Souza is going to join us. When we come back, he's going to be on video. We're going to get to watch him on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We're going to talk about his new video, Police State, his new film. Got a trailer we're going to play for you as well. Join us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Vote in the YouTube live chat poll. How will a GOP pursuit for impeachment affect them politically? Is it going to help them or is it going to hurt them? Let's hear from Dinesh D'Souza on his new film in just a few minutes.
When I see you again.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place.
Stewart's American Mortgage, the bagel loan, that's where you go to get a bagel loan. And when you use the bagel loan, you're going to pay nothing in fees and closing costs that all those other lenders are going to charge you for. You can get your mortgage secured with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage and save thousands of dollars potentially by not having to pay and fork over any of those closing costs. It's a fantastic opportunity for you. And it's easy. You just call them or text Stewie at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. He's waiting for your phone call. Tell him Annie money sent you. You can close in less than 2 weeks. He also makes it so that once you get pre-approved, you can generate your pre-approval letters from his website. You don't have to wait for a third party to produce a document for you to get it to the next place. And in all of these processes of buying a home, there's so much administrative, clerical work that needs to be done. He takes a lot of that out of there for you, so you don't have to worry about it. You get the pre-approval letter to him fast. You can maybe make a little bit higher of an offer because you're going to save in those closing costs, and it all wraps up into a really, really positive experience that so many of you have told me after the fact. Thank you for telling you about Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS number 226715.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-509-2228. 888-509-2228. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, North Carolina. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial professional before making an investment decision.
2 questions. Do you have a small business? Great. And do you have 5 minutes? Even better. You've got everything you need to start an application for quick, hassle-free financing from Capitus. We've helped more than 50,000 small businesses just like yours get competitive financing and the working capital they need in as little as 1 day. So, don't wait. Skip the red tape and get a decision today. Apply at capitus.com/radio. Go to kapitus.com/radio.
Learn to make money 5 ways with rental real estate. Double your money with apartments. And get your map to financial freedom. And that map starts with a free workshop. Sign up now at lifestylesunlimited.com. Click on the Join Free Workshop tab and attend online or in person. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. Lifestylesunlimited.com. Again, that's lifestylesunlimited.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential.
Start your Amazon business.
Hey everyone, Ryan and Karen Pottinger here.
Because of the wholesale formula, last year we ran our business while we traveled to and lived in 4 different countries.
In 2020, Americans made $50 billion selling on Amazon. Join America's Amazon expert, Dylan Frost, where anyone can learn how to start an Amazon business for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. Attend the Wholesale Formula 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at the Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
Hi, it's Scott and Andrea at Best Buy Flooring.
Andrea, what song is that?
Scott, I'm getting ready for the holidays singing my favorite jingles.
Why don't you sing about our deals at Best Buy Flooring?
Great idea. We are fully stocked with carpet, luxury vinyl plank, luxury vinyl tile, carpet tiles, ceramic tiles, sheet vinyl, and area rugs.
Free financing, too. Visit us at 2 locations, 7301 North Lindbergh Boulevard in Hazelwood, Missouri, and 1851 West U.S. Highway 50 in O'Fallon, Illinois.
Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy. Best Buy Flooring. Happy holidays.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness 101 for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness 101. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Fall is just around the corner. Make sure your furnace is ready to safely heat your home when the first cold snap hits. For a heating system check, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
We are stacked and loaded for a Thursday afternoon edition post-debate featuring 97.1 FM Talk political insider Scott Jennings, Sean Spicer, and even Bill O'Reilly.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they just fall off. But I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. Oh, what do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore.
Chief Division Counsel and DOJ have approved a no-knock breach. We want the subject to be on display, doing the walk of shame, full visual impact. Any questions?
Are we becoming a police state?
Government told American citizens they couldn't go to church on Sunday.
For the first time in my life, I'm saying to myself, am I going to get a knock at the door?
FBI warrant, come to the door now!
The Patriot Act and FISA were used against Donald Trump.
These individuals have commissioned the biggest propaganda play in U.S. history.
They don't go after the people that rigged the election. They go after the people that want to find out what the hell happened.
We don't need to have a crime. What we need is a person to look at. And then we go find out what crime you did.
FBI! Our focus is shifting.
So there you have that. It's a trailer for Dinesh D'Souza's new film coming out with a theatrical premiere October 23rd and 25th. It's called Police State, and we are so happy to bring Dinesh D'Souza onto the Annie Frey Show right now. Dinesh, thank you for being here today. It's a great honor to talk to you about this new film that you have out.
Annie, it's always a pleasure.
So I want to give you the opportunity to set the stage a little bit in addition to what we were able to watch and listen to there with the trailer. A lot of people have a lot of questions about law and order in this country, the bureaucracy that is behind it. And people are wondering, they see what's happening to Donald Trump. They're wondering, when does it happen to me? What's your movie about, Police State?
Well, the movie is, it's about political targeting, but it's about a lot more than that, because it's asking a really big question. A question that I didn't think we would have to ask in my lifetime anyway, because I came to an America where we took certain basic civil liberties for granted. Right to free speech, right to conscience, right to assemble, to petition the government, equal justice under the law. And suddenly all of these things are called into question. And it's all happened very rapidly. So if you think of the distinguishing elements of police states abroad, you have to say, well, they've got mass surveillance. They've got a regime of censorship. They've got ideological indoctrination in the schools and in the media. They've got criminalization of political dissent, the attempt to establish a one-party state. They've got political prisoners. And wow, Annie, I mean, I look around and say, we got all those things right now in America. So this becomes a very timely and urgent question. Are we becoming a police state? That's the theme of this film.
Well, I can't wait to see it. You have done such a great job in so many of the different films. You take so many of the things that are floating around in the minds of Americans like mine, but you string them all together in a story that is, you just have a really, really great gift of storytelling. I want to cite this. There's a Daily Signal article out there right now, but it's a poll that a lot of people are talking about. I'm going to read from it here. It says, a new poll has revealed that almost half of Democratic voters think that free speech should be legal only, quote, under certain circumstances, with 3/4 of Democrats also saying that the government should restrict, quote, hateful, end quote, social media posts. What is your reaction? You know, this is a First Amendment issue. It's the number one there in the Bill of Rights. What do you say to these Democrats who seem to be a bit confused about our constitutional rights?
Well, I mean, the first thing I have to say to them is that you are the people who are helping to build this police state, right? In other words, there are Democrats who say to me, oh, Dinesh, I don't know what you're doing because, you know, I'm never going to be thrown off social media, and I don't think the FBI is going to come and bang on my door. And I go, you're quite right. At least you're right in the short term, because you're part of the constituency that's constructing the police state. Eventually, even you will be in danger, but that's down the road. The second point I want to make is that our police state is somewhat unique in that it is masquerading as a regime of democracy and law and order and fighting misinformation and disinformation. So you'll hear leftists and Democrats say, well, you know, it's not that we want to go after Donald Trump. We're not trying to get rid of our main opponent. See, Dinesh, no one is above the law. All we're doing, we're under an obligation to enforce the law. So the point being is that our police state isn't a naked police state the way Stalin's was. If Stalin's police state came to arrest you, they didn't have to give you a reason. It's just like, sorry, you're on the list, come with us. But our police state needs to have the formality. We're going to indict you. We're going to have a judge in robes. There's going to be a jury. It's all going to look proper, even though this is no less ruthless and lawless a police state as any other that we've seen.
We're speaking with Dinesh D'Souza, and he is an author. He's a filmmaker. He's host of the Dinesh D'Souza podcast. His new film, Police State, will be out here shortly. Dinesh.locals.com if you want to learn more about Dinesh. I think about the Homeland Security effort for Catholic churches and Catholics in general. If you're a run-of-the-mill Catholic, somehow or another, this administration and its officials have deemed Catholics a danger to the homeland. How do you get from, Joe Biden is the adult in the room, get rid of Donald Trump, mean tweets, blah, blah, blah. Let's get Joe Biden in here too. Catholics are now the enemy in our homeland.
Well, I mean, just look at three groups that are now under suspicion of domestic extremism. One, of course, is traditional Catholics and supposedly people who like the Latin Mass, right? Number two, pro-life activists. You have these guys are being hauled up under the so-called FACE Act, which is, again, you can't interfere with the reproductive care facility. Well, there have been leftists who have been burning pro-life centers, and those guys aren't being identified, let alone indicted. And then you've got moms who go to school board meetings who sometimes find themselves under FBI surveillance. So this is an important answer to the people who say, well, I don't know, Dinesh, I'm not Donald Trump, and I didn't go in the Capitol on January 6th, and I pay my taxes and follow the law, so I'm totally safe. They're never going to come after me. I'm never going to hear that FBI battering ram coming through my door. And my answer is, you could not be more wrong. If for some reason you get into their sites, they have many different ways to get you.
We're speaking with Dinesh D'Souza. You are a historian. You understand, have studied, and you articulate what is the American distinction, American greatness. You've done that so well in the films of yours that I've watched, and I've watched many of them. But all of those things that you just listed there when you're talking about, the Catholics, which most people, if you're not Catholic or if you're not religious, Catholics kind of is an overarching word for people who are of Christian faith. When you're talking about pro-life centers and you're talking about schooling and parents at school board meetings, what this all centers around is the supreme unit that exists in American culture, which is the family. Because the family is the individual is supposed to be the we, the people, that sets above the government structure that is not there to overlord us. It's to serve us. And it seems to me that the leftist policies, which we have seen play out in history over time, which I've learned a great deal from watching your documentaries, that in order for the power structures in government to efficiently take over the way of life in a place like the United States of America, the number one thing you have to do is destroy the family unit. And what I'm seeing in Police State is it might just be the natural progression of investing even further into taking away what we know, what we adhere to, because the government is now here to be fully in charge.
Yes, I agree that the family unit, because it's such a profound area of human allegiance, they want to dismantle it. This is, by the way, the importance of issues like the trans issue. Like, you think, why are they going after kids and trying to indoctrinate them with trans? What does this even have to do with a police state? And in fact, if you look at police states around the world, a lot of them don't have these features that we have in America. In fact, most police states are actually pretty safe. In China, you can ride the subway. No one's going to come and spit on you in the subway because that guy's going to be carted off. You may never see him again. So in some ways, police states deliver law and order. In some ways, police states don't allow a lot of craziness to occur. They outlaw all that stuff. But in our police state, interestingly enough, they're using the issues of race and gender as mechanisms of division and as battering rams against traditional institutions. That's why, in fact, there's one guy in the movie who blurts out, and it's kind of funny in a sad sort of way. He goes, "We're basically becoming China with drag queens." And that shows the peculiar accents of the American police state. Remember, at one time we thought, hey, let's trade with China because we're going to make them more like us. But isn't it a sad fact that here 25 or 30 years later, we've become a lot more like them?
Yeah, and in doing so, we've destroyed what makes us great in and of itself. Before we let you go, we're speaking with Dinesh D'Souza. His new film, Police State, is going to be out there for you to consume soon. Two questions, or a twofold question for you, Dinesh. I want to know where people can get tickets or get to see this film, how it's going to be disseminated. But I also want to know, in addition to going to see Police State when it's released, what else are you calling on Americans to do to push back? Not everybody can make films and tell stories the way you do, but I'd assume that there is something out there that everyday Americans listening to this show right now can participate in.
So let me answer those questions in order. We have bought out hundreds of theaters on 2 days, October 23rd, October 25th. And so we're selling tickets on our website, which is just policestatefilm.net. So policestatefilm.net. That's the only place you can get tickets. You can't get it from the theater or from Fandango. Go to policestatefilm.net. The cool thing is you can put in your zip code and boom, the theaters around you will pop up. You can go with your friends or your church or your group. It's a great way to see the movie because I make these movies for the theater. Later, it'll be available in streaming and DVDs and so on. But I'm encouraging people to get theater tickets and see them in see the movie in the theater. Number two, look, I think the real problem here is we have a powerful Republican Party that is not using its power. Why? Because it's got this idea that we're not like the other guys. So they can be gangsters, but we are too good to be gangsters. So we're not going to do to you what you're doing to us. We're too principled. And so you can use the police agencies of government to go after our guys. But even if we come to power, we're not going to do the same. So part of what I'm trying to do is say that, look, we need to pressure our Republican and conservative legislators, attorneys general, secretaries of state, people who are in a position of power, who can block and tackle and roll back the police state to do the things that are necessary. Because otherwise, see, once a police state snaps its jaws shut, very difficult to get out of it. The only thing you can do then is run. But in the meantime, there is time, and there are a lot of things we can do to stop this police state from becoming full-fledged in the United States, which would turn the American dream into a nightmare.
Oh, man. Well, policestatefilm.net is the website. And Dinesh D'Souza's film, Police State, I just went and did this. It's very simple while we were talking here. Put in a local zip code here. There are tickets available at Edwardsville, in St. Louis at Marcus Ronnie Cinema, and in Creve Coeur at the AMC. So get your tickets now. I think that these are going to go fast. So you heard it here on the Annie Frey Show first. Dinesh, we appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us here today. Keep making these films. We want to see them, and the light that you shed on these issues, it's incredible. It's great to consume, and we're really grateful you were able to share it with us here today.
Thank you so much.
Of course. We'll do it again after we see the film, hopefully. Dinesh D'Souza here with us on the Annie Frey Show. What an honor to have him on to talk about his new film. Go to policestatefilm.net and get your tickets right now. You just type in your zip code or your state to find the one that is closest to you. And I recall the last time he had a film out, those tickets went just like that. They were gone. You're going to want to get in there and get those tickets right away. policestatefilm.net. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, a little more Annie Frey Show around the corner. The YouTube live chat poll for today, listening a little bit to what Dinesh is talking about there, about how the Republicans need to wield the power that they have. They're currently in the process of an impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden. Is that inquiry a good idea? How will a GOP pursuit for impeachment affect them politically? Will it help them? Will it hurt them? On the Annie Frey YouTube channel, go vote, leave a comment. I'll feature some of your comments when we return.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
That's alright. I found a martyr in my bed tonight. Stops my bones from wandering. Just why am who am I?
So you got a few more minutes left in the month of September. Guys, it's almost October. Holy cow. A few more minutes left in the month of September to save on all in-stock diamond jewelry and engagement rings at the Diamond Shop. I'm so grateful to be in partnership with the Diamond Shop, wonderful sponsors of the show and supporters of the station. You go online to thediamondshop.net. You become a VIP. And not only will you save 30% off all in-stock diamond jewelry and engagement rings, as a VIP, they throw in an extra 10%. The Diamond Shop is dedicated to building relationships with you when you walk in. If you know nothing about jewelry or if you're an expert, they certainly are experts as well. If you know nothing, if your budget is small, they're going to treat you the same as anybody else who walks into that building. Give them the opportunity to earn your business, as the Diamond Shop has been doing for generations. They've been in St. Louis since 1910, and their shop located right there in Clayton is easy to find, easy to get to, and when you walk in, it just sparkles all around you. Heck, you sparkle when you walk into the Diamond Shop, and who doesn't want to sparkle? If you're interested in something beautiful for someone, remember they do 6 months, same as cash. If you're looking for something for yourself, those in-stock diamond jewelry and engagement rings save 30% off plus an extra 10% for VIPs. You can become a VIP right now online by going to thediamondshop.net.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair is gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
What are you going to eat for breakfast? Might I suggest a St. Louis kolache? They're so delicious. They make them fresh every single morning with a secret dough recipe. 35 different varieties made from scratch daily. You like it spicy? How about buffalo chicken mac and cheese? Or maybe you just want a bacon, egg, and cheese, or cinnamon roll. That's my fave. Find out where they are at stlkolache.com. New locations in Arnold, Colorville, and Sunset Hills. stlkolache.com. stlkolache.com.
Has anyone ever taken the time to help you at a point in your life when you were in desperate need? How did that make you feel toward the person that helped you? The word gratitude comes to mind. Hi, I'm Martin Winslow, founder and president of Bethlehem Christian Academy. Through the years, I've met so many children that have gratitude toward those who helped them through their child sponsorships. Currently, BCA has 2,000 students spread over 4 countries, full of children filled with gratitude toward those who've helped them. But there continues to be great need. BCA's ministry is transforming lives by feeding and educating poor and orphan children in some of the poorest places in Africa and South Asia. Here's how you can help. For just $36 a month, you can offer these kids hope of a better future, but more importantly, give them the opportunity to learn about Jesus. You can also join us on a mission trip to one of our several school locations overseas and meet the child you sponsor. Remember that feeling of gratitude you had toward the person who helped you out? Wouldn't you like to pass that feeling on to someone else? To find out more about how you can get involved with BCA's ministry, please visit bcaministries.com. That's bcaministries.com.
We want to know what you think about this question. How will this GOP pursuit for impeachment affect them politically? Will it help or hurt? Let us know one of those two and why you say that in the YouTube live chat, the Annie Frey YouTube live chat. The time right now, 1:46. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
You could be watching this right now. Tune into the Annie Frey Show live stream. YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Twitter. You know what? Just type in Annie Frey Show live stream. This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Back in
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy to be here with you on a post-debate day and a post-diaper drive day and a current impeachment inquiry day. And it's Thursday, and I got a volleyball game tonight. And what am I forgetting? What else? What else are my kids doing? Oh man, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. Sometimes if I'm prioritizing. Like every day, I said this word yesterday, but I'm going to say it again. Triage. Every day is triage for me. And some days I have to pick work. But every time that I have to tell my kids to take a back seat, in my mind, it blocks out a long amount of time in the future that I'm not going to tell my kids to take a back seat. I think it's harder for women to do that because of societal pressures, but I also think it's harder for women sometimes to just say, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I can't. Because if I'm afraid, if I have people asking me to do things over the course of time, and then I say to someone, yes, okay, I'll do it because I'm afraid to tell them no, then I have to tell my kids no. And I've just started to look at my life in the last probably 2 years as a person who takes every instance of where I have to be to do things, and I have to imagine myself telling my children, no, I won't be home tonight to do that thing with you. And things have to rise to a pretty high level for me to do that these days. Sports are super involved right now, and it's so fun. My son's baseball season ended yesterday, and they played a really great game. Mm-hmm. I think they lost 8-7. And going into that game, we were talking about with the kids, like, you're playing with house money here. Like, we're talking to the kids, talking to my son about it. Like, just go out there and do your best and see what happens. And then they end up competing and getting close to, like, you start thinking, is it possible we could win this game? And then at the end, you don't. And you're like, I didn't even need to get worked up about that at all. So I start to stay pretty even keel. But lots going on. And when this type of stuff happens, I see it differently at almost 40 than I did at even 36. And I think it's important to remember, like, just pop this up right now. Let's just listen to what Jamie Raskin, they're fighting. There's a lot of parliamentary arguing this.
To not introduce any pornography today.
Okay, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me.
Whoa, now I don't.
That's because Marjorie Taylor Greene was on this.
Yep.
And Marjorie Taylor Greene, the last time that they had some sort of hearing here, was putting up lewd photos of Hunter Biden that all... Is she putting them up?
Uh-oh, is she doing it again?
She's doing it. Last time she was here, she was putting up lewd photos of Hunter Biden. People are like, well, that is just inappropriate. It's like, tell Hunter Biden that. Why are we not talking to Hunter about it? Marjorie Taylor Greene doing Marjorie Taylor Greene things. And to be honest, I don't even have time for it. I don't know. Does the shock value of an MTG do anything for you, Brad?
No, not at all. I am so much more driven by, like, the facts and the evidence than I am by anything emotional or shock driven or anything like that. Unless the evidence and facts are shocking, it doesn't do anything for me. I wish we could do without it, but it is what it is at this point.
I don't like the methods. And I'm not going to, but that doesn't mean it's not effective for some people. The YouTube live chat poll for today: how will a GOP pursuit for impeachment affect them politically? Will it help or will it hurt? I want to get some of your thoughts on this right now. Carlo said, I picked help. Once the truth gets exposed, I have faith that the voters in this country will see that JRB is beyond corrupt. I think that is a key point because the political fallout of exposing truth and Donald Trump is subjected to this as well. A lot of things have been revealed about Donald Trump that are unsavory, that are also not criminal. And the fact that those unsavory things were released or made public in the course of an investigation, I'm kind of the idea that if you participated and said unsavory things, and now that's out there, that's still on the person who participated in it. But you also don't get to, like, say you can't be on the ballot to be the president of the United States because you're mean. Chris says, I voted help. I have been watching off and on this morning, and the left not only are lying, but also making fools of themselves. I tend to agree with that. G-Wib says the impeachment inquiry will help if they don't overplay their hand. Just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. That's the question I want to ask you guys here. Brad, when you look at what we've heard so far. We played Byron Donalds. I thought he did a fantastic job of giving facts that will get us to the point where we started is, should we impeach Joe Biden for these questions that we have about him, to yes, we're going to impeach him, or no, we're not. If the impeachment inquiry ends in a no, we're not, is it a failure? Should they have not done it?
If it ends in a no, we're not, it will show that, hey, we still respect the importance of impeachment. We understand that, yeah, while it's a political process, it's also a constitutional process, which means that if it doesn't rise to the level, then we're not going to pursue it, unlike some other parties that have done that anyway. But I think it makes the Republicans go, hey, we're taking this seriously, and we're taking it so seriously that if it isn't what we thought it was, then we're not going to pursue it any farther, because we shouldn't. It's, I think that is not a loss. I think that's a win. But whenever you ask the question, and I don't know if you want me to answer the
I was going to follow up with that, and then we'll go to Ryan.
So the YouTube question is will it affect, how will it affect them, help or hurt? I think it's going to end up hurting them, but not in the way that everybody thinks. I think that this impeachment inquiry is going to be incredibly effective at damaging Joe Biden as a political candidate. And so what they'll end up happening is it'll help force Democrats to not have him be the political candidate, which means that the Republicans will have to face a stronger candidate in a Gavin Newsom or perhaps even a Michelle Obama, which in the long run would actually hurt the Republican Party.
Ryan?
I can't believe you just said that, because it's so close to what I was going to say, but inverse opposite. I say it is going to help them for that very reason, that you have the entire media, the Democrat apparatus is going to circle the wagons now around Biden, and that he will be more likely to be the candidate because all these people who are kind of trying to push him out now have to protect him for a little while.
Why do they have to protect him?
Well, because that's what you're seeing happen right now. I mean, all these media stories you're seeing are like trashing the idea of an inquiry. They're protecting him.
That's the obvious natural political. They're not protecting Joe Biden, so much so that they're actually, instead of defending Joe Biden, they're using their time to go after Donald Trump. I don't think they are defending Joe Biden.
I do, but I think they're doing it in a way that keeps them from being too culpable. They're not getting too close to him.
Who's they?
As in mostly the media. And then also, I mean, a lot of these Democrats in the House right now who are having to defend Biden, I don't know that they really want to be defending Biden.
They're not. They're not defending him.
Well, they're not. They're not defending him. I get what you're saying. They're not doing a very good job of defending him.
They're distracting.
Yes.
But
yes.
if they wanted to defend Joe Biden, if they wanted the American public to know at the end of here that Joe Biden is a good man and you are tarnishing his reputation by making such horrific allegations about a good man who is a good president, nobody's come even close to scratching the surface of saying that. They're saying Jared Kushner was in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Clyburn has said that kind of stuff, so it's not none of them. The stuff about, well, he's a good man and all of the character attributes of Joe Biden.
We'll have to pull that up.
Yeah, it's pretty responsible, but I do think that this is forcing them, if they were moving toward, hey, you know what? Let's start to push a little bit. Let's start to push him out. I think this at least slows that down and takes their foot off the pedal on that movement.
Are we out now? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I don't agree with that, but we can talk about it more when we come back. Plus the GOP debate. Your thoughts and our reaction. We need your YouTube live chat poll vote. Go now. Leave a comment. We'll be right back.
Surprise!
Surprise!
You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
If you're looking at new windows for your house, choose wisely. Mark Cox here for my friends at Window World. You want to go with a company you can trust. Ranked #1 in the number of windows sold in the country. That's according to Qualified Remodeler magazine. In just over 20 years in business, they've improved the look and obviously the thermal efficiency of over 70,000 customers in St. Louis. They're going to give you a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts and the glass breakage and the labor. It's a good product. Call them at 314-993-1800 for your free estimate. That's 314-993-1800. Window World won the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval. That's not easy. They rely on the expertise of their in-house engineers and their analysts and their product experts to give that seal of approval. That should matter to you as well. Call for your free estimate right now. Simply the best for less at Window World. 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
With the Wholesale Formula Seminar, find out how to start your own Amazon business.
This is Nick Chouquette. I lost a lot of money on a failed landscaping business and had to move in with my dad. After attending the Wholesale Formula Seminar, I went from having no job to $1 million in revenue on Amazon just 2 years later.
Hi, it's Emric Monello. When I first immigrated to the United States, I had no idea how I was going to earn a living. I attended the Wholesale Formula Seminar, and my first year on Amazon, I did over $700,000 in sales.
My name is Jeremiah Holbrook. I've sold over $10 million on Amazon thanks to what I learned from the Wholesale Formula.
Whether you have a business and want to sell more on Amazon, retired, or just need extra money, America's Amazon expert Dylan Frost will show you how. Attend Dylan's live in-person seminar for only $49.99, guaranteed or your money back. That's right, discover the easy way to make money with Amazon. Meet Dylan Frost at the Wholesale Formula Live 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The battle over Biden business dealings. I'm Matt Napolitano, Fox News. The House Oversight Committee getting heated in the first hearing into an impeachment inquiry of President Biden.
You keep speaking about no evidence. Why don't you all just listen and
I'm trying to introduce evidence.
You've already introduced. You've already had your share of evidence.
Are you admitting it?
Chair James Comer and New York Democratic Congressman Dan Goldman there. House Republicans trying to shed light onto the president's connections to his son Hunter's international business affairs, but Democrats pointing to the ticking clock of a government shutdown.
Why in the hell are we playing this game? And why don't we be honest? If it were so important, it could wait. This is what is important. Protecting this government.
Maryland Congressman Kwesi Mfumi. As for the looming shutdown, the Senate has begun debate on a stopgap bill to avert a stoppage in less than 3 days.
Members can expect to vote for cloture on Saturday, if not sooner.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has said he won't allow a vote on that proposal. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez remains adamant that he will not resign.
I will continue to cast votes on behalf of the people of New Jersey as I have for 18 years.
Menendez speaking after the Democratic caucus lunch on Capitol Hill. This as more than 30 of his fellow Democrats in the Senate are calling for him to step aside after his indictment on corruption and bribery charges. Baltimore police announcing the arrest of Jason Billingsley, a wanted convicted felon in the death of tech CEO Pava LaPere.
My hope is at least we can give a sense of closure to the city of Baltimore, the victims of all of his crimes and all their families.
Acting Baltimore Police Commissioner Richard Worley. In the final hour of trading, the Dow is right now up 107 points, while the Nasdaq is up 95, and the S&P 500 right now is in the green by 23. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Certainly not going to feel like fall going through our Thursday afternoon. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 85 for the high today. Nowhere close to a record. The record for the state, 97 degrees. Tonight, clear skies. A slow drop out of the 80s early evening. 62 for the overnight low. The full harvest moon overnight. Friday, sunny skies and 88. Saturday and Sunday, sunny and dry. 88 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Replacing your windows should be stress-free and add value to your home. Infinity from Marvin Windows are your best choice. Made with Ultrex fiberglass, 8 times stronger than vinyl, low maintenance and available in many colors. And we leave your home spotless. Schedule your free design consultation by calling Lakeside Renovation and Design at 636-978-5000 or online at lakesidерenovationanddesign.com.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Mark Reardon, and Annie Frey, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the last Protecting Your Retirement educational event of the year. Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online to retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you'll be able to live the same lifestyle as you are now? Do you worry about losing your nest egg in the next big market correction? Did you know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any more losses and provide more income than most investment options? Would you like to know why linking to the market is so much safer than owning the market? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this last event of the year.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
With so many bottles to choose from, there's always something new to try at Total Wine & More. How about a great Prosecco for under $8 and a French Rosé for under $7? With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love and love what you find only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Not just right and left, right and wrong. We're discussing it every day on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're glad that you were with us here today. We've had quite a good show so far. Hans von Spakovsky was with us at 12:25 and was talking to us about his thoughts on what we've heard so far in the impeachment inquiry taking place on Capitol Hill today, looking into whether or not the House wants to pursue an impeachment of Joe Biden. So Hans gave us his thoughts at about 12:25, and we had Dinesh D'Souza at 1:25 on the show, joined us by video as well on the Annie Frey YouTube channel to have that conversation. We were able to play a little bit of his film, the trailer to his film, Police State. And if you go to policestatefilm.net, is that correct? That's the website,
Yes.
right? I'm going to make sure before I screw that up. Policestatefilm.net. You can type in there your zip code or whatever and find the theater closest to you and go watch one of the theatrical premieres on October 23rd and 25th. As he said, that's the only place you can get tickets. They've rented out these theaters to make it possible for you to be able to go watch these films. There's one in Edwardsville, St. Louis, and Creve Coeur. So get your tickets now before they are gone. What do you think about that interview? The film Police State, what he was talking about. You interested in seeing it?
Yeah, I am. I was actually kind of thinking about whenever I got home tonight, I was going to go onto the website and get some tickets for the Edwardsville location.
Yeah, Dinesh is in it. The trailer has Dan Bongino in there, Jim Jordan, Rand Paul, among some other people who were weighing in. And it says here on the policestatefilm.net, there is nowhere to hide. They have their lists. Are you next? D'Souza Media LLC presents a film produced by Dinesh D'Souza, Debbie D'Souza, and Bruce Schooley in collaboration with Dan Bongino, research by Julie Kelly and Peter Schweitzer, featuring Nick Searcy, and then it lists some other accolades there. Interesting concepts. I'm interested in hearing more. He's good at making persuasive case. His Hillary's America film, very good. What was the other one that he did a little bit after that? I've gone back and rewatched it. It has to do with the Trump election and just the way that he brings things together is very compelling. And of course, watch it. And if you're like, this is not at all accurate or you don't think it's a fair depiction of the facts, every movie that you watch, you're being a critic of. I don't know why this one would be any different. Watch the film and find out what you think. Get your tickets and see it. He's good at filmmaking. No, that is for sure. Did you get to hear that interview at all, Ryan?
Yeah. Yes, I did. I liked Dinesh D'Souza. I mean, just like you probably were in the interview, I was listening to it going, well, I want to go watch this movie now. I mean, that's the thing about him. There are documentary filmmakers, and a lot of people now make documentary films because they're not, well, the cheap ones, they're not real expensive to make. But you get somebody who's in a category like Dinesh, he makes a documentary film that makes you either want to fight against those facts or accept those facts, which means he is in a category of documentary filmmaker that is pretty exclusive. I mean, you could put Michael Moore in that category on the left, but there are just a few of them in that category that when they make a movie and you watch it, you are forced to confront the issue that they're bringing up.
His film, Hillary America, came out in 2016 and in some cases was credited with grabbing some attention away from Hillary Clinton. Very good movie. You should see it. Death of a Nation came out in 2018. I've seen that one as well. And he talks a lot about fascism in there and the word fascist and how fascist is so fascism is so often, I'm Googling it here, thrown around by the left as an attack on the right. Fascism, according to Merriam-Webster, is a political system headed by a dictator in which the government controls business and labor and opposition is not permitted. Who's trying to silence whom in the United States of America? Who's got their hand over the mouth of whom in the United States of America? Going back to that poll that I just read there from the Daily Signal article by Dan Hart, I'll just read it again for you. A new poll has revealed that almost half of Democratic voters think that free speech should be legal only, quote, under certain circumstances. With 3/4 of Democrats saying that the government should restrict hateful social media posts, the poll results indicate a continued emphasis towards censorship on the part of left-leaning voters, even in the wake of intense controversy over recent revelations that government actors worked in tandem with social media companies to censor speech. It always only goes one way. Yeah. And then when you go into the Twitter files and you see what Elon Musk willfully allowed Americans to consume, and you start to understand how the bureaucracy, partnered with the former owners of Twitter to make sure that certain people weren't allowed to say certain things. That's only possible when you are moving into a fascist state. The people who are advocating for free speech, the people who are saying, I know your feelings might get hurt, but that doesn't make it illegal for somebody else to say that. Those aren't the fascists. And the people who throw around the anti-fascists, I mean, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's a gaslighting 101 in how to make you feel crazy because everything that you see with your eyes, everything that you hear with your ears, everything that you consume, they're telling you the exact opposite is the accurate depiction of what's going on. They're trying to make you feel crazy by observing what is reality. And then they flip it all over on its head. And then they make you sit there and hear from a choir of voices who are told exactly how to talk and what to say and what to do. They all get their talking points in line. And then they say something that you know to not be the actual truth of the matter. And then you feel like the crazy person. You're sitting there scratching your head going, that's really not how I see it. Am I stupid? Am I misinformed? Am I being lied to? What am I not getting here? It's on purpose. And we saw that with the Twitter files are such an important part of the last 10 years of history because what has been done to the free American people only possible if information is suppressed and you are scared into not talking about things. That's the only way those things are possible. And that's what happens in fascism. The idea that you want to call Donald Trump a dictator, call him a dictator. But you don't get to say that the Republicans that are in charge when Trump is in office are being fascists when the Democrats and the bureaucratic left are the ones telling people who can say what and when. That's where fascism occurs because you're not going to get a free people to hand over their power when they feel empowered and free to speak. You got to shut them up. You got to make them afraid to talk. And as soon as the structure in charge, the bureaucracy in charge, gets people afraid to speak up, that's when they move in. And that's what we're seeing. I assume that has something to do with the police state film by Dinesh D'Souza about. I haven't seen it, so I don't have a review on it yet. But that certainly is the point of Death of a Nation, which is a play on Birth of a Nation, if you know anything about that. And it's the idea that fascism is trying to seep its way in. Who in the left is campaigning on the idea of like liberty and justice for some?
Yeah, they're not. Those words don't come out of their mouth. What they say is we're here to save democracy. Our democracy is literally at stake. And by that, they mean if you don't choose us, you can't have democracy. Democracy is the choice. Their whole position, their whole stance is choose us or you're going to lose democracy. Choose us. You can't choose the other guys.
The truth. Go ahead.
It just is. It just falls in on itself. It's so ridiculous.
And for Democrats to be pounding their fists on the table, they want democracy because democracy is majority rule.
Mm-hmm.
Republic is where the Constitution rules. The charter that is founded our country is what rules. And if the majority of people are in conflict with the Constitution, the majority is wrong. In the United States of America, if the majority of voices are in conflict with the Constitution wins every time until it doesn't. And once it doesn't, it's probably done. And that's the direction that the left wants to take this country. It's maddening. The Republicans, I wanted to talk about the debate. The Republicans took the stage last night and were, I thought, in good form for the most part. I'm a little frustrated with this. If people are like, oh, it was boring, there were no big moments. What do you want? You want Donald Trump on the stage if you want big moments. Do you want big moments or do you want substance? Because I don't know if those two things are going to exist in the same place, in the same arena, the way people in their mind think that they want to see it. The idea that you have people on stage discussing Ukraine and the fact that there are dynamic thoughts on what we should be doing in Ukraine, all of which differ from what we're currently doing, spending money there and how the money is or sending money there and how the money is being spent on the whole. Watching these individuals react to the current state of affairs in the United States and offering alternatives across the board, I think is a very refreshing thing. But I'm a nerd. Not a, what is this Star Wars nerd? What was that show called? I forgot.
Ashoka?
Ahsoka. It's not, it's Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka.
I keep seeing advertisements for it, and I keep avoiding it. And yet here it is. Their marketing must be very good. Here's Ron DeSantis last night, who I'm a fan of. I'm not going to hide that, nor could I, talking about
it's in our interest to end this war, and that's what I will do as president. We are not going to have a blank check. We will not have U.S. troops, and we're going to make the Europeans do what they need to do. But they've sent money to pay bureaucrats' pensions and salaries and funding small businesses halfway around the world. Meanwhile, our own country is being invaded. We don't even have control of our own territory. We have got to defend the American people before we even worry about all these other things. And I watch these guys in Washington, D.C., and they don't care about the American people. They don't care about the fentanyl deaths. They don't care about the communities being overrun because of this border. They don't care about the Mexican drug cartels. So as Commander-in-Chief, I will defend this country's sovereignty.
So I think that's a great point. The people in Washington, D.C. don't focus on the American people. They focus on the world, and they do it by way of the American people. Isn't that an upside-down, disgusting way to think about how the government is supposed to function? They are there to serve us, not serve the world because and through and funded by us. I would like to hear more. Here's Ramaswamy.
It is not compassionate to affirm a kid's confusion. That is not compassion, that is cruelty. I met two young women, Chloe and Katie, early in this campaign, who are in their 20s, now regret getting double mastectomies and a hysterectomy. One of them will never have children. And the fact that we allowed that to happen in this country is barbaric. So I will ban genital mutilation or chemical castration under the age of 18, and parents have absolutely the right.
Would you try to pass a federal law that says parents should have that right?
We are going to require states absolutely have to follow that through.
Governor Burgum
we
just
stand
to follow
for
up on
parental
this
rights.
because
Yeah, Ed Burgum. Yeah, I don't have any other clips. That's where Burgum gets in this little montage that we're playing here. Here's Tim Scott talking about Russia.
Our national vital interest is in degrading the Russian military. By degrading the Russian military, we actually keep our homeland safer, we keep our troops at home, and we all understand Article 5 of NATO.
We have to level with the American people.
I thought you said something about waiting until your turn to talk. So at the end of the day, I'm going to finish my, I'll be happy to debate this.
I'll respond.
I'll look forward to this one right now. So at the end of the day, when you think about the fact that if you want to keep American troops at home, attack on NATO territory would bring us and our troops in. By degrading the Russian military, we reduce, if not eliminate, an attack on NATO territory.
The idea that degrading the Russia military is of benefit to the United States is an idea that should be discussed. It's a good point in the conversation about what we do in Ukraine, but that doesn't mean that whatever we do in Ukraine is okay. And one more clip from another man who was on the stage last night.
And I want to look at that camera right now and tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight, not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
I was going to go into the silence thing.
Oh. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, I could tell. Ryan's got a little treat for us. We're going to play it at 2:45. We decided we're going to try to make it better. We're going to try to do Chris Christie one solid here and see if maybe we heard it wrong, maybe it hit our ears wrong. Chris Christie has this talking out of the side of his mouth thing, and he leans into the camera like, all right, guys, this is between you and me. You and I are going to talk. Donald Duck, am I right? And we're like, you were wrong. I am sorry to tell you this, but you are not correct. Did not stick the landing. No Vivek Ramaswamy ChatGPT joke that still makes me laugh when I think about it. We're gonna have a little fun with that at about 2:45. We need your responses to the YouTube live chat poll. How will a GOP pursuit for impeachment affect them politically? Brad says hurt. Ryan says help. I haven't answered yet. I will at 2:45, and we're going to continue to get some of your responses in here. Like, for instance, Craig, who said GOP will be hurt by this because it's just theater. They're desperately looking for a needle of Biden corruption within the haystack of proven convicted Trump org corruption.
Ooh, I like this.
Thank you. I didn't read that until I just did it on air. So as I was doing that, like,
You were
witch
figuring it
voice,
out.
I was like, gosh, I hope this doesn't take a turn. This is going to happen to all of us at the same time. Craig, keep commenting. I want to continue to do that.
That one
voice.
hit harder than Donald Duck.
It's almost October, and that voice is going to come in handy. So stick around. Annie, are you okay? When we come back, Annie, are you okay with the Donald Duck comment? No, but I am okay with Donald Duck. Just not Chris Christie's version of it.
Well, at 2:45, we can see if these other versions might be more
Have you ever
approved.
done anything in your life that, I mean, it doesn't have to be big. Nobody else remembers that it happened, but you were just so mortified by doing it that you, every time you think about it, you like slap yourself to try to forget it again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hope Chris Christie is
Feeling that way today.
Because if Donald Duck resurfaces, like I said, can't elect him. Major error in judgment. Right there with Donald Duck. We'll be back with Trisha and Annie, are you okay? In just a minute.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Michael's Flooring Outlet online at igotfloored.com. When you visit their website, you can see the different kinds of flooring that they carry. You can peruse, do a little pre-shopping, or just kind of a thoughtful exploration about the flooring you might want to put in your home and see what kind of technology is out there. But I'm going to implore you to go, before you make your flooring purchase decision, into one of the stores at Michael's Flooring Outlet. First and foremost, they are an amazing, reliable sponsor of 97.1 FM Talk. They've been with us for well over a decade, I believe, and they're great people. And we like to partner with great people. We like to send our great listeners to make their purchases with great businesses, and Michael's Flooring Outlet is at the top of that. They have multiple locations in the St. Louis area for you to go shop. If you're looking for Mohawk Smart Silk carpeting, if you're looking for Techwood Plus hardwood looking floor, go to Michael's Flooring Outlet. You can shop them in St. Charles County. You can shop them in West County. You can also shop them in Darien Prairie. But you can shop them online right now at igotfloored.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm Danny Parkins, based out of Chicago. This is my buddy Andrew Filipponi. He's based out of Pittsburgh. You really got to check out our podcast, First and Pod.
Twice a week, we're going to break down the NFL after Thursday Night Football and Sunday Night Football. It's every team. It's every game. It's all 32 teams. We give you a complete picture, and we get into it. We don't kiss each other's fannies on this show.
New episodes of First and Pod available when you wake up every Monday and Friday morning throughout the football season in the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
With the Wholesale Formula Seminar, find out how to start your own Amazon business.
Hey, I'm Rick Manello. 2 years after attending the Wholesale Formula Seminar, I was able to sell my Amazon business for over $400,000.
Hi, I'm Amy Sherla. I attended the Wholesale Formula Seminar to learn how to work from home while raising my son. Today, I do $175,000 in sales per month.
Hi, I'm Hillary. Before attending the Wholesale Formula Seminar, I was a school teacher. Today, I work from home selling products on Amazon.
Hi, Ian Bauer. My first year averaged $45,000 a month in sales. Now I'm at $90,000 a month and hardly working.
Whether you have a business and want to sell more on Amazon, retired, or just need extra money, America's Amazon expert Dylan Frost will show you how. Attend Dylan's live in-person seminar for only $49.99, guaranteed, or your money back. That's right, discover the easy way to make money with Amazon. Meet Dylan Frost at the Wholesale Formula Live 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
For garage door repair, St. Louis calls the real Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Mark Cox here. They're the ones with the red ribbon. They're the ones that have been here since 1926. Others may try to copy it. They can't match the level of service. The red ribbon means 97 years of trust and loyalty from St. Louis homeowners. Always look for the red ribbon. It means you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. 314-781-5200. OverheadDoorSTLouis.com.
This weekend, September 29th, 30th, and October 1st, it's the semi-annual Missouri Arms Collectors Gun Show at the Arnold Eagles Hall in Arnold, Missouri. Browse tables of firearms, ammo, knives, books, and military items. Buy, sell, or trade. Admission's only $9, kids under 12 free with a paid adult, and parking is free. Don't miss the semi-annual Missouri Arms Collectors Gun Show this weekend at the Arnold Eagles on 1725 Jeffco Boulevard. For complete information, visit MissouriArms.com. The Missouri Arms Collectors Association is a not-for-profit NRA-affiliated club.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. September is World Ozone Month, so it's a great month to get rid of all your aerosol sprays and replace them with eco-friendly options. Also, be sure to check your air conditioner to make sure it doesn't have any leaks and schedule any necessary repairs or maintenance. The ozone layer will thank you. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save $50 to over $1,700 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates on qualifying HVAC equipment now through November 18th. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Keeping you connected and aware.
In the world, the country, and the community.
And offering more ways than ever to listen conveniently. Tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk or download the Odyssey app.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
All right, Trisha, here we are now. Entertain us.
Hey, everybody. All right.
That's a song by Metallica.
Yep. You're
That's the
right.
Foo
It
Fighters for
is.
you.
Great job, guys.
Not even the Foo
All
Fighters.
this pop culture knowledge.
Mark, we're here. That's what we're all about at 97.1 FM Talk.
It's from Foo Fighters' first album, Bleach.
We used to be FM
Slaying
News
it.
Talk 97 when we're like, we should do more culture. Let's drop the news talk part.
Yeah.
And we'll be 97.1 FM Talk. And that's where we teach you about Metallica. And you
97.1 Culture Talk.
Culture Talk.
DC.
That's why the Taylor Swift Travis Kelce thing was the YouTube poll yesterday.
Yep.
But we're not talking about it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
75%
Sorry, my bad.
couldn't care any less.
My bad.
And the majority of questions we got during the live debate stream last night were about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Mostly targeted to Taylor. Or to Ryan. Sorry.
Yeah, which you know what? I didn't love that topic because I hate that topic so much, and I feel like I should care about it. I'm sorry. I just feel like
Can
I should
somebody
care about
unplug Ryan and plug him back in?
He does need a reset,
He's been
doesn't he?
skipping here lately.
All right. Mark Zuckerberg says holograms will be commonplace in the near future. During his keynote at Meta's Connect event, Zuckerberg said, in the future, not too far from now, we're going to walk into a room and there are going to be as many holograms of digital things for you to interact with as there are physical objects. He said things like media, games, art, and screens could all be interactive holograms. He also predicts we'll be spending time with avatars of our friends soon. So avatars instead of people soon. Annie, are you okay with replacing things and people with holograms?
No, I'm not even okay with replacing like your radio with a Alexa device. Yeah, I said her name.
Her ears are perking up everywhere.
Yeah.
Me?
What's that?
Who, me?
Yeah, listen to 97.1 FM Talk or something.
That's great.
Is that
Yeah,
it? Does that work?
That's perfect. Yes.
Keep it here.
Follow the Annie Frey Show.
Alexa's like, well, now I can't turn off.
Never turn off. Is Mark Zuckerberg just like next level creepy compared to all of the techie Silicon Valley types that are out there like the Elon Musk is weird and eccentric is a good word for him.
Mm-hmm.
But Mark Zuckerberg, if I were in the same room with him, I would not take my eyes off him. He's so creepy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
That dude's got to eat food without his hands. Like
Like a lizard?
Yeah. Yeah. And also, he'd be one of those guys that you go, yeah, I used to know that guy in college. What happened? Like it was pretty cool back then.
No, he is not one of those guys
No?
because there was a college friend of his that came out and was saying things like he was so weird he would like refer to food as fuel and stuff like that.
Oh,
Everybody knows one of those. We all hate you.
You're weird.
Is there anybody here that does that? This is radio, I mean.
anybody here that does what?
Food
Eats
is
like a
fuel.
lizard?
No. Talks about food, refers to food as fuel.
Food is fuel. Man, I had a big problem when they transitioned from saying meat to protein. I was like, oh, what kind of protein do you want in your salad? I'm like, oh, you mean meat? That drove me crazy.
I actually do that.
But
now I hate that I do that.
What if you want like hard-boiled eggs?
Well, that's fine, except that the place I would go didn't have that as an option. It was literally like beef, chicken, or pork.
It seems like a really specific complaint.
It was. It was very specific.
This is this restaurant.
Yeah, this one place.
This one time. I'm
They
still not
didn't
over
have
it.
chicken tenders.
I just want my tendies in my salad.
Don't we already interact with our friends though as avatars? Like if it's whether you're using an online chat or direct messages or texting, you're not actually interacting with the person. So would like texting be better?
No, because you are interacting with the person. This is a replacement. Just
Yeah.
because there's a technology that exists when I'm DMing you 24 hours a day or you're DMing me 24 hours a day, I'm still talking to you.
Right.
This is suggesting that there would be like a replacement?
No, this would be your friend, but it would be a hologram. So this would be, instead of us sitting here in a room together, we'd be sitting in this room doing this job, looking at each other, but not.
Then Brad's right.
You think so? You think that
I still hate it.
and
I'm not
okay.
doing it. I don't need. I mean, do you need to be in the fake presence of people more? I mean, other than
know.
sending a message, like I'm not the best person to ask this, but do you want to spend more time with the people who you're? I guess if it were your family, but I'm just trying to think of like the people I'm messaging all the time. The necessity to be like feeling physically next to them. I want to be next to my family, and
I think humans need closeness.
Yes, but do you want to be in a fake hologram physical presence at a Zoom meeting instead of just on Zoom? Does that make it better?
It probably costs a lot more. Plus, I like playing catch with my friends and family so much that this is a problem for me.
This
Throw that
hologram
ball
sucks.
straight through the hologram right into the wall.
Yep. I don't like it.
I don't know.
Put a pitch back behind the AI.
Throws it right back.
Paper wine bottles may be hitting shelves soon. The wine industry could significantly reduce its carbon footprint. I know you guys are worried about that with a unique paper bottle. The new bottles, produced by a British-based company, are made from 94% recycled paperboard and weigh less than 3 ounces. The boxes contain a plastic pouch to hold the wine, so it's basically a bottle of boxed wine.
It's still got plastic in it.
It's correct.
It's just on the outside.
Yes. Annie, are you okay with paper wine bottles?
Are they more are they more biodegradable?
It does not say that the plastic is. The box is recycled.
Because it seems
paper.
to me like, didn't we come to the conclusion that glass was better than paper? Haven't we? Has that happened?
Maybe in like a fever dream. I don't know that that's really happened.
Glass?
There was a study not too long ago about plastic straws being better than paper straws.
Yeah. But I mean, the idea of glass promotes more reusability as opposed to waste. So we continue. Is it paper or plastic? Well, you're supposed to get paper because it's better than plastic. Well, it turns out that maybe not. So now you use your reusable bags. I'm not opposed to reusable bags. I don't think that that's a bad thing. I don't want someone who's shaming me. And I mean, honestly, if your whole purpose is to shame me, I'm going to take paper wrapped up in plastic. Just to make a point. But if you make it easy to buy reusable bags and it's cheap to buy reusable bags and it's easy to throw them in the trunk of the car, we have those in the trunk of our car because when we go shop at Ruler Foods, you can use boxes off the shelf. They don't bag the stuff for you. I'm not opposed to any of that stuff. So I wouldn't be opposed to this specifically, but I don't trust that when these developments happen that they're actually what's best. I think it's if they're using it to sell a gimmick. So that you can be like, oh, I'm such a good person. I drink my wine out of paper. And then you find out, no, you're actually a worse person now. And I'm just here to tell people that.
Yeah, it's all the grocery stores that are like, well, I'm going to charge you extra to use a plastic bag if you don't bring your own. But all the plastic products that you're buying, that's fine.
Yeah, that's Phillies fan not allowed to bring a support gator into the stadium.
Only in Philly.
Phillies fan.
City of brotherly love and the worst fans in sports.
Yes, they are.
This one, Joe Henney arrived at Citizens Bank Park on Wednesday night for the Philly Pirates game with his support alligator Wally at his side. Although the stadium allows for certified service dogs, their policy states all other animals are prohibited, so Joey and Wally were turned away. Annie, are you okay with emotional support alligators?
No. No.
No.
The idea.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That might just be the answer.
No, I mean, I don't want to begrudge somebody's need for emotional support through another living being.
Mm-hmm.
We know how dogs have helped veterans who have PTSD. 100%. I know people who have serious medical issues. Like, isn't type 1 diabetes something where like a dog can be trained to sense if you're having a blood sugar issue or if there are seizures? Like, this is a really amazing example of how, in my opinion, great God is. That he has created all of nature to be in tune with one another. And you say something like that, you take the God thing out, and then I sound like a tree-hugging hippie. But it's just, I mean, it really is amazing to understand how nature works together in these types of ways. So I don't want to begrudge that, my first kind of like shock jock reaction is you don't need that much emotional support. But there are people who do. But as we do with everything, we take it so far, and I just am always questioning how much you want to be in the spotlight or have a story written about you. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get an alligator. And while you are emotionally supporting yourself, you are emotionally distressing everybody around you.
Yeah.
Does that not matter? It doesn't when we live in a world that only cares about yourself, which is why it makes me mad.
College students are still renting moms. A recent article in the Wall Street Journal highlights these companion services, many of which emerged during COVID. They show that they're still going strong. Services for these businesses range from $450 to $10,000 per year and include things like regular check-ins and even hugs. Annie, speaking of emotional support, are you okay with renting moms?
We talked about this a little bit earlier this week in some amount of detail, and somebody was suggesting that this is like a Oedipus thing. Is that actually true?
I don't know what that
What does
means.
that mean?
An Oedipus complex?
You don't know who Oedipus is?
No, I still don't.
I don't.
I don't either.
I'll
It's
take
okay.
one
It's
for
okay.
the team here.
It's okay.
Greek mythology, Oedipus was somebody who, what did he, kill his father and marry his mom? And then, like...
Ew.
Yeah.
Is it romantic? It's
yeah.
What is the other one?
Some kind
Freudian,
of like fetish thing here.
A Freudian type of complex. Like there's like some sort of... The idea is that there's some sort of relationship that exists between a son and the mother and a daughter and her father.
Oh, I don't think that that's what this is.
Well, that was suggested on there, and I'm like,
that's not how I read the article.
yeah. But at the same time, like the idea that you would need an emotional support person to act as your mom, like no, maybe you just need to go to the bar and make a friend, or go to the movie theater with somebody who lives in the dorm down the hall, or something like that.
Well, the thing that caught me was parents are spending $10,000 a year for somebody else to check on their kid. Pick up the phone.
Yeah, it's not hard now.
Just check on your kid.
You don't have to
Even
take
if
the
you're far away,
stagecoach.
FaceTime them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hologram them.
Somebody else was saying like they might help you stay on top of your bills and make sure that you
Seems
make
like a parent
the
thing
doctor.
to me. I don't
no,
know.
you're in college. You're a grown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yes.
We'll find out in 10 seconds.
You're a grown person. Figure it out yourself. I mean, how many things did you learn when you were 18, 19, 20 years old by forgetting to do it, not knowing you had to do it, or failing at it? Most of the things.
Yes. Yes.
Do you need, I mean, at some point, mom isn't there to do it. Hired mom's not there to do it. What happens then?
Well, this is part of the process because you have to go through these failures, and one of those failures is having an emotional support fake mom. you'd realize at some point that was an unnecessary $10,000.
Yeah, unnecessary expenditure.
I'd go with the alligator.
I think the weirdest version that you brought up is the most likely version of this.
The
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
Yuck.
Yes.
Hi, I thought you were here to just pay my bills.
You want to do what?
By the way, you're going to have one more bill after this.
All right, one more.
Yeah, I mean, you got 18 minutes.
You calling me mom, right? Call me whatever you want. You paid me.
An electric blue tarantula has been discovered in Thailand. It's just a blue spider. A group of Thai researchers found the spider during an expedition aimed at researching the diversity and distribution of tarantulas in the country. Just wanted to know, Annie, if you were okay with electric blue spiders.
What words can I say? No, I hate spiders. We showed up. I don't know. I hate spiders.
This is awesome.
No. I'm not even talking about it. No, I just hate spiders. We're not talking about it.
Doesn't
I
matter
don't
what
like
color. We
I
don't like them if they're blue.
spiders. I don't. I know that God created them too. I question that about God. God encourages us to ask questions and to pray and ask for peace. And I still haven't received it about the spiders, but I will continue to pray about it. And the other night, I was walking out to let the dog out the front door, and down drops this spider right in front of my face. And it was one that had a belly, like a beer belly, but it was probably a blood belly, which is why they're awful, and like muscly legs. And I said a really bad word really loud. It was 11:30 at night. The whole neighborhood heard it. My husband knew it was a spider, bad word, and he came quickly and took care of that thing for me. But it's that season where they start to creep out, and I don't like it. I don't want them. I don't want to know that they exist. And for everybody who is listening right now, and you think you're going to be funny, and you're going to send me something on my phone that has to do with a spider, I will legit block you from ever being able to contact me again.
She's not kidding, guys.
If you send me a spider thing, you were done. You were toast. So this is, if you hate me, you should send me one right now. Make sure you put your name in there, and then I will know to block you. Because I'm not interested in it. It's not fun. Nope, no patience for it.
I thought maybe an electric blue one, but sounds like no.
No. There's even those like
Thought it was worth
itty
an
teeny
ask.
weeny ones that are like kind of cute. Hate them.
Oh, with the big eyes?
Jumping spiders?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
God. Oh,
Yeah.
it's starting to
They do look kind of cute.
I actually have one living in my bathroom right now. And I
Jumping?
No, one
Or
of
an
those
electric
little
blue?
like spindly ones.
Oh.
But I thought he was dead, so I went to move him, and he's not. But he's not hurting anything, so I'm like, okay, you live here now.
Oh, maybe he was dead and he's a zombie spider.
Maybe.
Maybe you'll eat him at night when he crawls into your mouth and lays babies in your throat.
Or maybe he'll eat me at night.
What?
So maybe he'll eat me at night.
Chris Christie and Donald Duck.
Wait.
When we come back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
So Air Comfort Service knows now that we're in fall, the air is going to start getting cooler. Lots of you are excited about that. Some of you aren't. I get it. When the air gets cooler and you are pushing that furnace warm air throughout your home, a lot of times that air gets super dry. And the more dry it gets, the more you're going to feel it in the effects within your house. Takes you out of your comfort zone. Air Comfort Service is there to put you right back in your comfort zone. When your heating system is running, it makes the air inside your home even drier, and it can cause you to be uncomfortable and experience potentially nosebleeds. We get those in our house when the air gets super dry. Your skin gets really itchy and scratchy, and you're putting hand lotion on all the time and trying to find that body cream. Static shocks throughout the house. It's just uncomfortable, and you don't want to deal with that anymore. The solution comes from Air Comfort Service in a whole home humidifier. And what it will do is add moisture into the air in your home, which will eliminate all of those uncomfortable things. Whole home humidifiers are installed near your furnace, so moisture is easily and evenly distributed through your ductwork in every area of your home. If you're considering trying to fix this dry air problem in your house, call them at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. And tell them Annie sent you and ask them about that whole home humidifier. Find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today. That's youridoc.com or call 966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
Has anyone ever taken the time to help you at a point in your life when you were in desperate need? How did that make you feel toward the person that helped you? The word gratitude comes to mind. Hi, I'm Martin Winslow, founder and president of Bethlehem Christian Academy. Through the years, I've met so many children that have gratitude toward those who helped them through their child sponsorships. Currently, BCA has 2,000 students spread over 4 countries, full of children filled with gratitude toward those who've helped them. But there continues to be great need. BCA's ministry is transforming lives by feeding and educating poor and orphan children in some of the poorest places in Africa and South Asia. Here's how you can help. For just $36 a month, you can offer these kids hope of a better future, but more importantly, give them the opportunity to learn about Jesus. You can also join us on a mission trip to one of our several school locations overseas and meet the child you sponsor. Remember that feeling of gratitude you had toward the person who helped you out? Wouldn't you like to pass that feeling on to someone else? To find out more about how you can get involved with BCA's ministry, please visit bcaministries.com. That's bcaministries.com.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
The YouTube live chat poll of the day: how will a GOP pursuit for impeachment affect them politically? Will it help or will it hurt? Let us know. We're going to give you the results of that poll in just a couple minutes here as the show concludes, and Mark Reardon takes over in just a few minutes. Right now, 2:49. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Andrew Bailey is here, our Missouri Attorney General.
This is all about protecting parents' rights to know what's going on in their kids' schools and to have a say in that process. I mean, that's a basic fundamental expectation that every parent has.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This is The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Christie montage over this song.
Ooh, I kind of missed that one. I got a lot of things, but not that.
Doesn't he has a video of him dancing, doesn't
he? Oh,
yeah,
he does.
Does he?
Is it from Saturday Night Live? What is it from?
No, but...
I mean, it's all out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's,
He's wearing his pants quite high in that
He always
video.
wears his pants.
Yeah, I don't think that's anything new.
He wants his pants to be higher than Jerry Nadler's.
Yeah, it's a constant battle between the Christie and the Nadler.
A challenge. This is from last night.
And I want to look in that camera right now and tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight, not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
You know what this guy sounds like? He sounds like Stillwell Angel. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. Stop and think about it for a second. He might be Stillwell Angel.
What is that from?
It tracks. You don't know?
No.
Does this sound familiar?
Yes.
You're gonna lose. We're gonna win because Dottie is there.
It's not
Dottie.
Billy Madison, is
Dottie.
it? When that kid's going, man, he just hits him with the dodgeball.
We'll get right back to that. Here's option number
I want
one.
to look at that camera right now and tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight, not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen.
Okay.
You keep doing that,
Hit me with it.
no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore.
What are they gonna call
We're going
you?
to call you Donald Duck.
That was the tipsy version.
That makes so much more sense. I've heard that
It
before.
lands a little better when you know, hey, he's had a few.
Here's another one that Ryan tried to do to make it feel a little bit better.
The Disney version.
And I want to look at that camera right now and tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight, not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
All right, that's cool.
And the sitcom version. Saved by the Bell. Yes.
And I want to look at that camera right now and tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight, not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
Go to Mr. Belding's office right now. Oh my gosh. Vicky is right here. Where was that comment? Yeah, she said this is better than the entire debate.
Yeah.
Chris Christie, who knew you had it in you? Oh my gosh. The drunk one is the most likely though. That sounded accurate. The YouTube live chat poll for today. How will a GOP pursuit for impeachment affect them politically? I say it's going to help them, and the reason why I say it's going to help them is because we do have to get to the bottom of these questions that are being asked right now. We do need to know what the truth is. And how bad could the truth be when we find it out? It could be impeachable. That's as bad as it could be. But just because it doesn't reach the level of impeachment, these are still questions that the American people deserve answers to. And the media is so incapable of pursuing truth because they are advocates that the House majority, even though it is razor thin small, needs to do what it needs to do to get this done and get to truth. And so far, I think they've been doing a very good job at that. So I say help. Ryan says help. Brad says hurt. Correct?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the YouTube live chat poll results for today. How will a GOP pursuit for impeachment affect them politically? Help or hurt? 48% say hurt, 52% say help. Another poll where y'all are split almost right down the middle. Pretty surprising.
That means it's a good poll.
I think so. I hope so. And it makes me understand that I need to keep covering it because you need more information to have a consensus. Or maybe we're just going to be split on it like we are so many other things.
Yep.
Mark Cox texted me a picture. What's this guy's name? Rufus?
Toby Maguire.
Toby Maguire.
Rufus.
I don't know.
You just made up some random name.
I didn't make up the name Rufus. That's a real name. What are you talking about?
That's a real name.
What do they used to call this guy? Rufus?
Toby,
Rufus O'Hanahan.
Toby Maguire. Rufus, what?
O'Hanahan.
O'Hanahan. Yeah. I sent in one pictures of spiders, and all he did was send me a headshot of Tobey Maguire, and it just said testing. And I said, permitted, but barely. Thank you, Mark Cox. Stick around, Mark Reardon. Up next.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon coming up. I suppose I have to talk about the debate. Do I really have to? What a mess. We'll talk about that. We also are loaded up. Bill O'Reilly, Sean Spicer, Scott Jennings. It's all coming up next.
ClassicKitchenRefacing.com is the website when you were thinking about renovating your kitchen and maybe you've investigated how much that costs or maybe you haven't yet. Let me tell you how to do it for way less, but getting the same amount of wow after the fact of a whole kitchen remodel. You go to Classic Kitchen Refacing. It's a less expensive way to remodel your kitchen. They reface your cabinets, and they do a wonderful job. They can give them a wood or a paint color look, and then they actually make it look like you've got brand new cabinets. You take the old ones, maybe from the 90s or the 80s, and they bring them into a modern look, and they are stunning. Add that to some beautiful, beautiful new countertops. These Cambria countertops are stunning. They put a new backsplash in, brand new sink, and you are going to get that new kitchen for way, way less with Classic Kitchen Refacing. Call them at 314-739-1730. Visit them in St. Anne. I've been there. You will love these people. They're wonderful friends and family of the Annie Frey Show. Find them online at ClassicKitchenRefacing.com.
Get a pen. You'll want to take this number down. Okay, you have health insurance, or you don't have health insurance, but you want health insurance at a reasonable price, right? Well, you won't find it with Obamacare, where you can only sign up once a year with their high deductibles and limited networks. You need to talk to an expert. Kim Kiefer at H&L Agency can help if you pay for your own health insurance, or your employment coverage is just unaffordable, or if you have a few employees, you could be saving 30 to 60% if you qualify. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. Go to hnlagency.org and get a quote today. We all need quality health insurance at an affordable price. Call Kim at 800-975-2841. That's 800-975-2841. Or go to hnlagency.org. And is spelled out. That's hnlagency.org. A quality plan managed by you, not the government.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Is ticking. I'm Matt Napolitano, Fox News. With a government shutdown less than 3 days away, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is urging Republicans to get a short-term spending bill passed.
Having it be able to come back with a guaranteed vote, no amendments, you vote it up or vote it down. It's the only way we're going to tackle long-term where we're going.
Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is worried about GOP priorities.
Your objective, apparently, as extreme MAGA Republicans, is to shut the government down. That's their objective.
This as the House Oversight Committee held its first hearing into an impeachment inquiry of President Biden, seeking to show he's linked to some of his son Hunter's international business dealings.
Democrats are sticking by President Biden, arguing that while Hunter Biden certainly has a mountain of legal problems and questionable business dealings, it doesn't tie into the president directly.
Fox's David Spunt. Congress today also questioning Hawaii energy officials over the deadly